Happy summer solstice. Happy full moon. Okay. In Capricorn, right now we're still in Sagittarius. All right. So we ain't there yet. It hadn't even moved yet. It's gonna move in a minute. You know what I'm saying? But it's actually gonna move into Capricorn while we're talking. And if we are off class by 9, okay, at 9:08, okay, it's going to go full in Capricorn. But I'm excited to talk to you guys today because this class is extremely important because we have two full moons in Capricorn. This is part 1 of the full moon in Capricorn. So this energy is definitely going to set us up correctly as far as how we're supposed to really use this vibration during the Cancer season. And a lot of it is very much so discipline, which the whole year has been about discipline, right? So we haven't been shy of this space of us making sure that we are doing the things that we're supposed to do. But today is definitely going to get us deep into the spaces of like some of our childhood issues, childhood wounds. That's the reason why we're going to be heavily talking about discipline and reparenting ourselves. Okay, so the purpose of the class today is for us to go through some basics of Cancer. We always go through the basics of whatever the sun energy is and the moon energy. So we're going to go through the basics of Cancer. We're going to go through the basics of Capricorn, but we're here to talk heavily about where you have Capricorn in your chart, as well as your 4th house dynamic. Okay. Now, when we have the new moon class in Cancer, we're going to be talking about planting seeds around the things that we're discovering today. But the purpose of today's class is discovery. Okay. Discovering the spaces where you need more discipline. Discovering those spaces where you have childhood wounds with your mom, especially, but mom and father, okay? And where you may need to start to develop a plan of action as it relates to reparenting yourself. So a lot of things that you did not get from your childhood perspective is okay, okay? Your parents did as best as they possibly could. Trust me when I say that. They did as best as they could because they also came from parents, okay? They didn't just come out with a handbook, all right, of knowing what to do, okay? And of those of us who have children, we all know that, you know, no matter how many books we read, no matter how many videos we watch, okay, it still does not set you up for what parenting really is. So we're going to spend some time just going over those things. Today's full moon is the strawberry moon. Okay, so we're also going to talk about the spiritual significance of strawberry. I thought that would be cute to start off with. I am dressed in my strawberry. Okay, I got on my pink/strawberry to be in the vibe. Okay, so we can make sure that we are following in the path of the energy. And I just want you guys to come ready, as we always do. So if you don't have your chart, please pull your chart up so that as we're going through some of these aspects, and I'm asking you, like, where are your Capricorn placements? Where are your Cancer placements? Again, we're going to spend more time talking about the Capricorn dynamics today and not as much as the Cancer dynamics, but we are going to go through Cancer and the basics of Cancer. But we're going to heavily spend time on Capricorn and 4th house dynamics so we can kind of see what those wounds are. And again, start the plans of action. So between now, new moon in Cancer, we're going to actually put some things in place. And then we have the second Capricorn full moon, then we should be set to go. All right. So again, greetings, everyone. Happy summer solstice. Happy full moon in Capricorn. And yeah, we're going to get started. All right. So let me switch some things up. All right. Spotlight for everyone. Perfect. All right. All right. Share my screen. Put this here. Can everybody see and hear me okay? So we're still having some weather over here in Mexico. It's been raining for the last week. So the weather is in and out. So it's raining and it's not raining, and it's storming and it's not storming. So if you guys are having some issues.
The connection is fine.
Connection is fine. Y'all can see me clearly. No issues. All right, perfect. All right, so let's start the class off with, what's the spiritual significance of strawberry? Does anybody know what the definition, the energy surrounding strawberry? Does anybody want to take a guess? What is the importance of strawberry in the spiritual connotation? What does the strawberry offer us? Any takers? If you don't, it's okay. I'm not gonna call on y'all.
So when I think of strawberries, I think what's unique about a strawberry is that it has little seeds on the outside. I'm just going off the top of my head.
Yes.
You can see the seeds.
Uh-huh.
They're not hidden.
Yes. Yes. That is really, really good, Kelly Lynn. Because it is, right? There's a lot of seeds to it, which means it is capable, okay, of just producing so much, all right? So much energy in that one little fruit, okay? That one fruit got so many seeds to produce so many other fruit, okay? So that's definitely a very key principle to it, okay? But the spiritual meaning of strawberries symbolizes love, passion, and healing. Strawberries are also considered a symbol of abundance, and that's what the multiple seeds are, right? So much abundance, so much prosperity. They're also seen as a symbol of purity and enlightenment. Okay, I'm trying to get to my doggone share screen. I don't know why I can't see it today. Where are you? Share screen? Boom, found it. Okay, great. All right, here we go. So yes, you'll see spiritual meaning of strawberries symbolizes love, passion, healing. Strawberries are considered a symbol of abundance, prosperity, okay? Strawberries are seen as a symbol of purity, enlightenment in many spiritual traditions, okay? So when we look at it, it also is a symbol of purity, fertility, and healing. The heart-shaped fruit, because it is heart, is associated with the goddess Venus. So today is Friday, okay? So I think that is just right in alignment, right? Who was often depicted with strawberries or strawberry motifs, okay? They were believed to bring good fortune and blessings, all right? Furthermore, strawberries are a powerful symbol of transformation and growth. So I want you guys to be thinking about all these key terms going along with the strawberry moon, because this is why reparenting yourself, or the things that you're going to do along with this strawberry moon, is so important, because you have all the tools and the vibration necessary to do it, okay? So I don't care how difficult you may think your current dynamic is as it relates to your parents, or the energy as it goes along with how you have been raised. Understand that you have all the abundance, all the fertility, all the healing necessary to make these things happen, okay? Just like the fruit itself, which starts as a tiny seed. Y'all see how that is mustard seed size, okay? And grows into a juicy red berry. Our spiritual journey also begins small and evolves into something beautiful and fulfilling. It reminds us that we have the ability to grow, change, and blossom. So understand, you have the ability to change, grow, and blossom. Your parents have the ability to change, grow, and blossom. Everybody around you has the ability to change, grow, and blossom, okay? Now, the healing power surrounding strawberries, I thought this was good too, okay? Strawberries are not only spiritually significant, but also possess numerous health benefits. They are packed with essential vitamins, minerals, antioxidants that can boost our well-being, both physically and emotionally. So we are going to go through some things emotionally. Even in this class, when we pull out certain things, right? Because y'all know our classes are more so like a group conversations. So some of the things that I'm going to say today may trigger, okay? Because we still got some Chiron stuff going on. And I want you to understand that as you may be triggered by some of the things that I may say, that I may pull up as it relates to your dynamics in your childhood, I want you to understand that it is okay, because you are healing emotionally and physically through this class. Through you saying, yes, I wanted to come and be here, that means you giving yourself the permission to move out of your own way, because we are generationally continuing the cycles, right? And we can at any moment decide to break these things, or we can decide to continue them. So you have already said by coming to class that you want to break the cycle as it relates to the energy that's going on with the lack of discipline, because a lot of the stuff that we endured as children, okay, was because our parents lacked discipline on certain things, okay, because their parents lacked discipline and structure on certain things, and these things cause trauma. Okay, they cause generational and childhood trauma. They're continuing the cycle of those things. So being here allows us to really look at those things and be able to see that they can change both physically and emotionally. Okay. Also, benefits of strawberry and the ability to promote heart health. So this is heart healing. Okay. The symbolism of the strawberry moon is inviting you to have heart healing. Why is heart healing so important? Because that's what the energy that you need to make it in this world is all here. Your ability to trust is all coming from your heart. Okay. So when you say I trust you or I don't trust you, it has a lot to do with your heart. Okay. But if you trust yourself, which comes from when you heal yourself, then you can start to activate and initiate yourselves in other relationships that allows you to say, I'm safe here. Okay. So some of the things that you don't feel safe in is because your heart is still wounded, because you're still carrying some of these things. All right. The vibrant red color of strawberries is also due to the contents of the anthocyanins, a group of antioxidants that can help reduce the risk of heart disease and improve cardiovascular health. All right. So when we improve the heart, we're improving the energy as it relates to our cardiovascular. So when we go and run and work out, we're doing that to also heal our heart. Okay. We're not just doing it to work out to look good and look fine. You're also doing it so that your blood can pump on the ways in which it's supposed to pump. All of that still has something to do with your heart health, and it also has to do with your trust levels, okay? How you trust yourself and how you trust others. All right. In addition to, we know strawberries are a great source of dietary fiber, which also can lower cholesterol and support healthy heart. So everything we're doing today is about your heart. So I'm going to also give you guys a in your playback, you're going to have a heart meditation, a chakra meditation that I want you guys to listen to for the next 3 days. Why 3 days? Because the full moon cycle stays in full moon for 2.5, 3 days. So for the next 2.5, 3 days, I want you to do 432 megahertz. Okay, I'm going to send you a link, but you have all permission to find other links that are going to allow you to open your heart chakra and allow that heart chakra to flow. Okay, I'm also going to send you a mantra to chant, which is just literally saying, I trust me and my heart is open. I trust my heart healing and my heart is open. Okay, so we're going to work on opening your heart chakra, opening your heart energy. Okay. All right, so strawberry moon, understand what we're doing. So another thing I want y'all to do, I want y'all to eat some strawberries. Okay, this is strawberry season. Okay, this is the peak. The reason why when we go into and look at the farmers' almanacs, because I went and looked like, why did they name it the strawberry moon? Well, this is also the peak of the summer when strawberries are ripe. Okay, so the natives of the land noticed that strawberries were really high ripe and they were plentiful during this time period. So you should be able to get strawberries in season right now. Okay. So I want you to also eat strawberries for the next 3 days if you can. You don't have to eat them every day, but at least get you a pint of strawberries, wash them, soak them, get them ready or whatever, and let that be a part of your heart healing. And every strawberry you eat, I want you to be reminded the seeds that are in it. Are you planting the energy inside of you that you are releasing old stuck energy surrounding your heart chakra, and you are opening up new energy? You're planting new seeds. Again, remember I said between now and the new moon in Cancer, we will be planting things. Well, you're already starting. Y'all know we already ahead of time in this class. We're not waiting on stuff. So I want you to go ahead and plant. So when you are eating your strawberries, say the things that you need to happen, right? So if you need more trust, then when you eat that strawberry, put the trust into the strawberry as you're eating it. If you need more finances, if you need more structure, you need more discipline, then use those seeds, okay, that you are eating and you are planting inside of yourself to open your heart to the energy that you need. All right. Any questions about the symbolism of strawberries? Did that hit home? Did y'all already know this? Did y'all already know that strawberries was this abundant? Okay, and this is symbolized, especially the love part. Okay, the heart-shaped berry. Okay, symbolizing love. That's why we always eat strawberries during these love seasons. Okay, it's because we know it is working on our heart chakra. But understand that it is really giving us abundance and prosperity. All right. Okay, let's go into, do I have time passages open? Of course you got time passages open. All right, so let's look at, from your time passages app, the bottom you click on learn. Okay, you go to learn, you go to signs, and then you scroll down to Cancer. All right. full view. All right, Cancer. Okay, so we are now in the sun sign of Cancer. So happy birthday to all the Cancers. Big hug, big kisses. Okay. Now, even though we are not a sun sign Cancers, okay, don't mean you don't have Cancer in your chart, because you do. Okay. Cancer energy is ruled by the moon. Okay. So the moon energy, all the moon phases, every time we go from a half moon to a quarter moon to a full moon to a new moon, all of that is Cancer vibration. So I'm going to remind all of my Cancers, especially my sun Cancers, my moon Cancers, and my Cancer risings. Make sure that you are doing a moon journal, okay? Especially this month, okay? The reason why is because this is one of the most important years and one of the most important times of our lives that we are restructuring things. So if you've never done a moon journal, do that. What is a moon journal? I want you starting today to write down the energy every day that you are having, okay? Why? That means no matter what the moon shifts into, like I told y'all, right now the moon is in Sagittarius. But how are you feeling? How are you feeling on today's moon? Okay. Tomorrow energy, right? And you can even write down the phase. You can say, okay, on June 21st, the moon was full in the sign of Capricorn. I was feeling great. Or I had, several different ways I was feeling. I was feeling up and down. I was feeling emotional. I was feeling, what I'm saying, like I wanted to escape. Whatever the energy is, I want you to write that down. Okay. Why? Because as a Cancer sun sign, Cancer moon sign, or a Cancer rising sign, you are heavily affected by the moon changes. Okay, heavily affected. Why? Because again, the moon is your mama. Okay, and because when your mama shifts, and understand that the mama shifts every 2.5 days. So when mama shifts every 2.5 days, it is affecting your emotions the most. So if you start to do a journal, at least a 30-day journal, 28 to 30-day journal, is going to start, you're going to start to see a pattern. And when you start to see that pattern, then you can start to then calculate ahead of time how you're going to feel on certain moon cycles. You know what I'm saying? You can say, okay, on full moons, I tend to feel this way. Or when the moon was in Libra, I felt balanced, right? You can start to see how your emotions are. So you can start to also plan around those things. Okay. Now, when your cycle comes on, your moon cycle, please make sure you're writing it down, okay? Like, how are you feeling on your first day of your moon cycle versus the last day of your moon cycle? Again, this is for my Cancer prominent people, sun, moon, and rising. For the rest of us, we can do it too, okay? It's really good for you to just have a moon journal, especially if you are a woman, okay? To have a moon journal, because we are water mostly. So as we're going through these phases, it's good for us to be able to see it, okay? Now, some of the energy that goes along with Cancer energy is the crab, okay? Because it is the crab, all right? Sometimes it wants to retreat into its shell, okay? So the Cancer energy can be sometimes very out and very much of its feelings. Look at the hands, okay? It can be very much let me feel, cat. And sometimes it can be retreat, go into the shell and you don't see it, okay? When it is very much in the shell, it is like being at home, comfortable clothes, binge watching on your favorite shows with some comfortable food, okay? Ice cream, whatever your favorite vices are. It just recluse, okay? Not out, all right? But when it is out, it is very much, okay, touchy-feely, huggy, okay? All emotions, all sharing itself. And it is very much the mother quality, okay? So wherever you show up in your Cancer energy is where people see you as a nurturing energy, okay? Now, again, the ruling planet of Cancer is the moon. It is ruled by the fourth house, which is what we're going to talk heavy about today with that Capricorn full moon. It is the water element, it is the baby of the water element. So when we're talking about the 60 degrees of water, it is the first 10 degrees from 0 to 10. So it's the baby. It is very elementary in water, okay? Meaning like, even though it's ruled by the moon, if that moon is high, the waves is high, okay? If the moon is low, the waves are low. So it's very much still learning how to possess the fullness of being that energy, which is the reason why Cancers also get the rap of being cry babies, okay? Cry baby part. The baby part energy is because it's still very new, and managing emotions for a Cancer can be a lot, okay? Because it does not sometimes know how to be able to communicate when it's in those things, okay? The other aspects of Cancer is sometimes holding on to two things too long. Why? Because Cancer is comfort. Like I just told you, when it is recluse or removing itself from everything in the world, it is comfort zone. And the comfort zone sometimes can also equal old patterns and things that we need to let go of. All right. The mode of this energy is cardinal. The other cardinal energies is Capricorn, which is where the moon is. The moon is going full, right? And the other cardinal energy that goes along with the Cancer energy is Aries and Libra. Okay, so this means that the whole month of Cancer season, as well as this full moon, is affecting all the cardinals energies first. Okay, so wherever you have Aries, Libra, okay, Capricorn, Cancer, this full moon is going to affect us the most. All right, and then it starts to affect the others, the fixed signs and then the mutable signs. But first things first is going to affect the cardinal signs. The key word for Cancer is feeling. Okay, so when you start to hear yourself say, well, I feel like this. Well, when I'm in my feelings, well, you told me you feel, all of that is you talking about Cancer. Okay, so I tell people, when you start to even use the vibrational words of feel or saying anything connected to feeling, you are talking about your Cancer placements. Okay, so when you're watching your words and as you're talking, you can go and look at your chart and see where your Cancer energy is, and that is what your chart is talking to you about. Okay, all right, any questions about that? All right, well, put in the chat where your Cancer placements are really quick. And again, we're not going to spend too much time talking about your Cancer placements. We're going to talk about that on the new moon in Cancer, but I at least want to know where your Cancer placements are. All right. Let's see. Hey, Brandy. Hey, Sherry. Okay, I don't know all the symbolism, but I did know they are healthy for you. Yes, they are. Okay. Delia says she has Midhaven in Cancer. Okay, so 10th house in Cancer. Kelly's in the 11th house. Okay, Jamaica, Moon, and Rising in Cancer. So Jamaica, the journal, the moon journal. Okay, extremely important for you. Sherry, Venus in Midhaven. Okay, beautiful. Carissa, goodness. Sun, Mars, 11th house, and Sag. You is just all Cancer, baby. It's all Cancer energy in there. That's good. Make sure you're keeping a moon journal as well. All right. Kelly says Saturn. It's also in Cancer. Okay. Delia says her Cancer is at 20 degrees. Okay. Are we sharing fourth house? We are going to share fourth house, but hold on to it in just a minute. Okay. So hold on. All right. Good. Did we miss anybody? Did everybody put theirs down? All right. I have Jupiter in Cancer in the 12th house. All right. All right, perfect. So if anybody else, okay, Saturn in Cancer in the 11th. Got it. All right, perfect. All right, we're going to come back to those in a second. All right. All right, now let's talk about Capricorn. Okay, now the Capricorn energy, okay, which is the polar opposite to Cancer. Okay, so y'all know, if you've been with me for a minute, y'all know I say it's only 6 signs. Okay, it ain't really 12, right? And the reason why I say it ain't really 12 is because when you talk about one, you can't help but talk about the other because they're the polar opposite energy. So anytime we're talking about Cancer, we're always talking about Capricorn, all right? So meaning when you are out of balance in your Cancer energy, you are over the top in your Capricorn energy and vice versa. So the way to really start to study astrology, if you really want to get really good at it, okay, is to recognize that every Cancer season, we're going to always have full moon in Capricorn. Okay, they go together. They're never not together. Okay, Capricorn rules the bank, Cancer spin the bank. Okay, that's how that works. Okay, Aries is the I am, Libra is the we. Okay, so it's always dealing with each other. Okay, so we're talking about Capricorn. We're now talking about the discipline and the structure energy that is going to take in order for us to operate in our feelings. Okay, when we're talking about the Capricorn opposite the Cancer vibration, Capricorn is the earth grounding to our emotions. Okay, so the ways to really work the Cancer energy to come out of baby stage stage is to use the grounding of the Capricorn energy. Well, how do we use the grounding? Well, because Cancer doesn't all the way sometimes understand the feelings of it, if you ground those feelings in the disciplinary actions and the structure and the making sure that you're managing your time well, okay, those things help you to balance out all the emotional things that you're feeling, okay? So during this season, the reason why we are talking about discipline and reparenting is because it's going to take you to be disciplined and staying on top of your time management in order for you to fully accomplish what you need to accomplish this Cancer season, okay? It's gonna take that, because if you do not, we still have Jupiter in Gemini until Cancer season of next year. Well, what does that mean? Our mental health issues are still on the table, okay? They're still apparent. They're still going on. So we want to make sure that we are not being swayed by all the energy that's going on in the world and swayed by our emotional energy and swayed by our mental health energy. We got to stay on top of this time, okay? Where Cancer is the mother dynamic, Capricorn is the father dynamic. Okay, so we're talking about mother. The reason why we're talking about mother and father reprogramming, because fourth house deals with the programming of the family, period. Okay, why? Because mama is the nurturer, but daddy is the structure. Daddy is the board. It's the hard thing that makes sure that what mama say goes. Okay, what mama is too loose and too, I just want to nurture my babies. Daddy's like, no, we got to get this done. That's how it should be. That don't necessarily mean that's what we got. Okay, so these things exist inside of you. Why do we say that? Because you are 50% your mama and 50% your dad. So because you are 50% these aspects, the way to deal with each other is by leaning on one or the other. So if you are out of balance in your Cancer energy, then you lean on the Capricorn. If you are too masculine, too structured, too, want to work, and don't take no self-care, then you have to go to self-care. Where does self-care exist? In the Cancer placements. Okay, so these things are operating together. They are moving together. And you can always notice whether or not we are in balance and off balance based on how our bodies are doing. Okay, your body is the symbolism of what's going on. The Cancer vibration is ruled by the breast. Okay, the breast is the area that Cancer rules. And when we start to talk about being out of balance, self-care is what gets thrown out first. Why? Because it's the baby water. Water energy is where we do self-care. So if you are out of balance, not taking care of yourself, you're going to do the opposite. What's the opposite? Want to work, do stuff for other people. You know what I'm saying? Throw yourself out where your care is not important. Everybody else doing stuff for everybody else. Self-sabotage is high. Okay, that energy is the opposite of self-care. Okay, so when we're talking about this energy of Saturn coming in, Saturn is the energy that's saying, listen, we have to activate discipline. We have to activate, what are you doing with your time management, right? What are your daily practices? What are the things that you said that you wanted to accomplish? And if the things that you said you want to accomplish, you don't have time put in place for those things, then how are we going to get there? If you're allowing your emotions to just sway your decision-making process on what you do every day, we're never going to get there. Why do we have to get there though? Why is Saturn, aka father time, aka discipline, so important? Because the Capricorn part of you is concerned about your legacy, meaning that you are responsible for 7 generations in the past and 7 generations in the future. When I say responsible, what I mean is the things that you do, the things you say yes to, the things that you ignore in yourself is affecting 7 generations from your past and 7 generations in your future. That's how much power you have. You have the power to shift in one single existence. 7 behind, 7 in the front. That's 14 generations that you're responsible for. Okay. Now, again, some people may say that's heavy weight. No, it ain't. It's not really heavy weight, because it's all based on your decision-making process. You decide to sign this contract to be landed here right now. And believe it or not, even though there's so much going on, you are in the best time ever. Why? Because we're in the age of Aquarius. Okay. And the age of Aquarius said, listen, I am going off based on my future. I'm going based off what I see in the future I could have. Okay. Meaning your ability to manifest is by your words and by your action. We couldn't do that in the age of Pisces. The age of Pisces, it wasn't that easy. Okay. Meaning that it was very heavily on your religious practice. Okay. It was very heavy on your family dynamic. It was very heavy on you doing what other folks wanted you to do. People pleasing, okay, was heavy in the age of Pisces. This age ain't about that. This age ain't about people pleasing. It's about community involvement. It's about you doing what you decided that you was going to do. And some of that means that you may have to go at it alone because the future in which you see is very big. All right. So it may seem like it's a heavy responsibility, but trust me when I say your ability to manifest these things very quickly are at your fingertips, but it's going to take you having to let go of the past, let go of a lot of these childhood things that are in you. And what's going to help you to do that is getting into your discipline, aka Saturn. Okay. Now, I want you guys to tell me, if you haven't said already, that unless you already got Saturn in Cancer, tell me where you what sign do you have in Saturn? Okay. What is your Saturn sign? All right. Put it in the chat. And I'm gonna just keep talking. I'm gonna come back to it after I go through this. Okay. Now, what does the Capricorn energy rule? What house? It rules the 10th house. So some of you said that you have Cancer in the 10th, okay? That 10th house dynamic has everything to do with how you are set up for the social world, how you are set up for your responsibilities and the things that you said you were going to do here, okay? Meaning what we decide that we want to pay you for or give you money for, because Capricorn is where we have the biggest bank. The biggest bank is in Capricorn, okay? The biggest bank is in your 10th house, even though the second house is where you acquire money. That's Taurus, okay? So all earth placements is where we draw in money, okay? We draw in money from the second house, which is the Taurus placement first. Then we go to the 6th house, which is Virgo, where we work for that money, okay? And then the 10th house is where, because we are disciplined and structured, that money just funnels in. Not only does it funnel in from the work that we do, it funnels in from the ancestors, it funnels in from the responsibilities that you choose, how you wake up, how you put yourself into the perspectives of saying yes to yourself and getting things done. That money comes through on your earth placements, okay? So the 10th house is the supreme earth placements, okay? Del, you got your finger raised. What you want to say?
I do. Hold on. You was blazing through through Capricorn. So wait, Capricorn is the what? You said Capricorn, you said Capricorn is where you find your money, but second house is so
yeah. Okay.
What
So
were you saying?
all the earth signs is where we acquire money. All the earth energy. Okay. The first money house is the second house, which is the house that Taurus rules. Okay. But because it's the baby of the work house or baby of the money house, is where the money comes through first. Okay. The second placement where money comes through is the 6th house, which is where Virgo rules. It's where we work for the money, okay? Second house is kind of like doing what we're supposed to do, so it falls in. The 6th house is where we have to work on that. The 10th house, which is where Capricorn is the oldest of the earth. So it is where we not only just money comes through because we have said yes to our discipline and our structure, it's also the space where ancestors give you your money too, okay? Where spirit gives you your money too. So what you have in the 10th house is where you acquire money the easiest because it's the oldest of the earth energy, okay? So remembering that earth is where you get your money, okay? On 3 perspectives, 2nd house, 6th house, and 10th house, okay? First house, second house. The second house is where you get it easy, okay? Or because it's the baby. 6th house is where you have to work because it's Virgo. And 10th house is because you're the elder there. You already learned. You already know what to do. It's already coming in. No matter which way you look, it's coming in. So when people have a lot of Capricorn placements, I'm like, money is not your issue. Your issue is your Saturn, your discipline, okay? The structures that you have in place. You never have an issue if you got a lot of Capricorn placements, all right? Make sense now? I'm sorry I blazed through. I was, I'm getting in now, girl. I'm just making sure you got it, okay?
Yeah, I love it about you. I was like, wait, hold on. Here's my notes.
He's
Thank
like,
you.
no, I need to hear this. You need to go back to that, okay? Now, again, it's the earth element. It's the oldest of the earth element. And like I told y'all earlier, it is a part of the cardinal family, okay? It is the oldest of the cardinal family. Aries is the baby of the cardinal family. And then we go from that perspective. Oh, there go the thumb again. Aries is the baby of the cardinal. Then we go to Cancer, which is the second baby of the cardinal. Then we go to Libra, which is the third of the cardinal. And then we go to Capricorn, which is the elder of the cardinal, okay? All the cardinal energy, again, is what we are dealing with in this full moon cycle, all right? The key words for Capricorn, one of them is I achieve. The other energy of dealing with Capricorn is I structure. Okay, so all these energies make us practical in this space. So some of the energy that we're going to need in activating this full moon is understanding that your achieving ability, your ambitions, the practical side of you is what it's going to take in order for us to activate the other energy. What's the other energy that we're talking about? The reparenting part, okay? Because where you have Capricorn in your chart is also where you suffered some forms of family dysfunction. Okay, meaning that whatever showed up there, you promised yourself that you wouldn't be that way. Okay, I'm not gonna have it this way. Okay, where you have a lot of Cancer in your chart is where you have to put a lot of self-care in place so that you also don't end up doing the same things that you went through as your family did. Okay, self-care is always missing where you have a lot of Cancer. And when you have Capricorn, usually some form of masculine energy is missing, okay? So meaning that if you've got a lot of Capricorn in your chart, you tend to be a workaholic, or you tend to always strive to be on the masculine dynamic a little bit more. So meaning you don't necessarily know how to relax as much, okay? So we're going to use these energies simultaneously together to make sure that you are learning how to relax, meaning relaxing, meaning like learning how to not be so overboard with the masculine energy that you're not recognizing that you need to work and have a balance of it. Work and get things done in structure, but you also need to learn how to relax too. And with the Cancer perspectives is the same, learning how to not be so lax, okay, be so comfortable, but also learning how to get the self-care in so you can know how to move into things like having multiple businesses, okay? The Cancer aspect is supposed to have multiple businesses in this lifetime. Why is that? Because your finances is going to come from Capricorn. Okay, when you are ready, the money gonna come through Capricorn dynamics. Okay, so not having one business, but having at least 2 or 3. Okay, all the things. And what is those businesses? Most of them have something to do with some form of self-care. Okay, so whether that be you having some type of spa business, you know what I'm saying, or you having some type of massage therapy business, some type of mental health business, something in reference to helping people to relax, okay, and deal with their emotional energy is the Cancer strength. Okay, you can also do it in art form, singing, music, those things too, because those are also vibrational things. It's whatever can help people to get in touch with their feelings so they can learn how to release those feelings. All right, let me go look what y'all put on this Cancer Saturn vibration. All right, go back up. Okay, Saturn 11th house. Yes, Kelly. Chiropractor, and Cancer. Wait, did you mean to say chiropractor and Cancer? Chiron and Cancer. Okay, Cat 5th house, Vesta, which I don't know a lot about. Okay, Saturn and Sagittarius, Sag and Saturn. Okay, Saturn sign in Scorpio, Virgo Saturn. Okay, that long money. Come on, Monique. All right, put all that in. Okay. My Saturn is in Virgo in the 2nd house. Okay, so my discipline of working with people and working with others, I'm doing it right now. Okay, as long as I'm doing this, the money's gonna come through. Remember, I told you the first space of money is 2nd house, right? So as long as I am working, keyword Virgo is work. All right, Saturn is discipline. So as long as I have discipline in working with people, right, my money will flow. The moment I get frustrated, okay, want to judge, like, these people don't want to hear nothing, they don't want to work, they don't want to do nothing, fine, I'm not doing nothing either, then all my money stop, okay? So I'm going to be here. Just know I ain't going nowhere because unfortunately, I don't get to win the lottery and sit on my ass, okay? Wherever you got Virgo placements, ain't no sitting on your ass for you, okay? You're going to be working. That's just what it is. That's the key words, all right? All right, now, let's move into the 4th house dynamic, okay? So now, starting to pick up. If anything happens, if I lose signal, y'all don't go nowhere. You stay right here, okay? If I have to come off of the computer and go on my phone, just know I'm coming back, okay? Now, 4th house dynamic. What do you have in the 4th house? Because we're going to talk about these separately. All right. They're coming through now. Neptune and Cap in the 4th house. That's good. That's real good. Dreams in the legacy of the 4th house. That's for you. All right. Cancer in the 4th. All right, Brandy. That's good too. All right, 4th house in Sag. All right, Capricorn in 4th house. Come on, y'all is right on. No wonder y'all in class, because this stuff is all in your 4th house. This is your language. This stuff is talking to you directly. Okay, Chiron in Gemini. All right. Virgo in Saturn in the 4th. Okay, perfect. All right, so. All right, Sun, Mercury, Venus, Neptune, and North Node in Sag in the 4th house. Golly, Kelly. Gracious goodness. All of that is in your 4th house. So let's talk about 4th house, right?
I told you last night. That's why I was coming to this class, because I've had a hard time reconciling what all that fire means in the 4th house. And with certain circumstances, you know, I don't have children. I'm not married. You know, that 4th house is home and families. So I've had issues coming to an understanding of it all. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah, yes. And I'm glad you're here, because, you know, a lot of this energy that we're going to talk about, just to you first, okay? And then going into everybody else is going to just start to make sense for everybody, right? With you having so many placements in the 4th house, because as you can see on the screen, the 4th house represents the home family environment, okay? Monique said you want her kids. Unfortunately, when people have a lot of Sagittarius energy, they don't want kids. They don't even want to deal with.
Okay? I was a teacher for 13 years. So I dealt with your kids for 13 years. I dealt with your teenagers for 13 years.
That means she don't want her own, okay? She had them already. She had everybody else's kids, okay? When we think about the 4th house, okay, and the reason why it is so important is we're going to talk about the 4th house, and then I'm going to segue and go back into the discipline perspective of Saturn, okay, and how that Capricorn energy comes in. But let's talk about the 4th house first. The reason why the 4th house is so extremely important, okay, is because it is ruled by the Cancer vibration, which is the baby energy of water, right? But it's also the nurturing element. So what you have in the 4th house, it indicates the type of nurturing that you receive, okay? So if you want to see, when people come to me and they start talking to me about their mother issues, right? Or whatever dynamic that they had in their childhood, I go directly to the 4th house first. Why? Because the 4th house lets me see who you are from a child perspective. It lets me know what relationship you had with your mother, and also lets me know what programmings were there. Okay, so determining what you have there shows me the energy that you experienced. Okay, why? Because of what it represents. Okay, it represents all the energy of family orientation. Okay, how to dig into your past and uncover your roots. Okay, so meaning the programming you got from here, from gestational, in your mama's belly, is all 4th house stuff. All right. And when I say your mama's belly, we're not negating the fact that your daddy is the seed that is growing in that belly. Okay, so it's very much mostly your mother, but it's also the programmings of father too. It's just not the discipline structure parts of the father, but it is very much programming. So whatever you have in the 4th house is going to be where we start to see where your childhood wounds are. All right, so if we're going to start with Kelly, and then I'm going to go into all of y'all individually, right? 4th house dynamic. So we just talk about Kelly, right? And we see that Kelly has her Sun, her Mercury, her Venus, her Neptune, North Node are all in Sag in the 4th house. All right. So we think about Sun, we think about the illumination of the seed, the illumination of the vibration, right? That's the first thing, right? So the programming, what is Sag in the 4th house? Okay. Sag represents what? It's ruled by Jupiter energy. So that means if we're talking about a Sag child, you know what the family needs by the child it is producing. Okay, so Kelly being born the child means that her family needed exploration. All right, they needed to go beyond the confines of where they were. Right, they needed to expand. They needed to Jupiterize the energy. Okay, why? Because she's a sad entity. What does it the family need? They needed spiritual structure of some sort. Okay, so if she did not grow up in a household that has some type of religious or spiritual practices, right? That means she came here to activate some. All right, that's what Sag represents. Okay, not only did it represent that from the sun perspective, right? It also represents the teacher and the student. What did she say she did? Teach everybody children, right? But she came here to not only teach the children, she came here to be an avid teacher of herself, an explorer for herself, so that she can come back and help the family do that. Now, whether or not the family was willing to listen and take that on, that's neither here nor there. We're only talking about her being the child perspective, right? She also has Mercury in Sag. So all the things we just said also means that from the family dynamic, she also came here to be a different communicator as it relates to the family legacy, as it relates to being the teacher and the student, as it relates to being the world traveler, going to seek out things, right? All those things are also the communication of the fourth house dynamic. Along with that, she got Venus in Sag. Okay, what is the Venus? Values, foundation, finances. Okay, so now we can also see that the family needed to expand those things, expand the foundation, expand the financial literacy energy, and also expand the energy as it relates to how they were dealing with relationships. Okay, so now we can probably see that there may have been a little bit, maybe some dysfunction maybe going on between her mom and her daddy somewhere. Why? Because she was the born child to come and reveal them these things and also change them where she could. Along with that, Neptune is sad. So now the dreams of the family want to go beyond where they are. So she's a child that's going to push the family to do something different, to travel and go somewhere else. So, I mean, if everybody, of her family was born and raised where she was born and raised, they may be stuck there, right? Where it's her job to move from the home, go somewhere else, go do something different than the family was doing, so that they can then see that this is something they need to do too. Along with this is the North Node. What is the North Node? The car that we drive. North Node is the position or the suit that we put on to satisfy this lifetime so that we can make sure that we are living in alignment. So not only is she a sad son, even if she wasn't a sad son, the homework or the thing that she was supposed to do most of in this life anyway was to be a Sagittarius, which is to go out in this world, right? So her having a solidified one place that she stays for a long period of time is going to be of a detriment. Okay, she needs to move. She needs to find new spaces to dwell in. Why? Because moving and being in new spaces to dwell is going to keep her healed, but it's also going to heal the bloodline, heal the generational trauma. Okay, Kelly, am I hitting home, baby? Where are we?
You just read me. You just read me. You just read me.
Okay. All in the fourth house. So she is literally, if we're talking about somebody that's completely redesigning the family to expand and to be totally different, she is the child that is supposed to do that. Okay. To the point to where, Kelly also, tends to date on the other side. She don't date in her race. She date on the other side too. All these things are supposed to be different. She has to be different because she has to show her family something different, because the programs that they have are outdated and outmoded. Okay. They are not working. They have not been working for a very long time. So she signed the contract to come here to be different, which means that she's probably also ostracized from her family dynamic. What I mean is, her family does not even see her as being one of them, okay? Because the fourth house of being Sag means you have to expand. And expanding sometimes means I can't stay here where everybody else is. I can't be like them, okay? I have to be completely contrary, different, because I have to change the sun perspective. I have to change how my family illuminates. I have to change how my family communicates. I have to change how my family loves, how they have foundation values and their finances. I have to change what my family looks like, the car that we drive. I have to change all this programming because it's all outdated. It's all keeping us stuck. And because of that, I'm going to deal with some childhood wounds because of that. So they're not going to accept her either. So she's going to feel like she don't belong to that family. And that family going to feel like, we don't know what we did to her, why she act this way. You know what I'm saying? All we ever try to do is give her the best. You know what I'm saying? They're going to think these things, not recognizing that the prayers of the mother, because now we're fourth house is also the prayers of your mama. Okay. So deep down inside, the prayers of her mama was, I need to get out of here. I need something different, but not knowing how to. So she gave birth to the child to do that. Okay. So what is her responsibility? To do what I just said. She has to keep moving. She has to go from place to place, travel the world, go to this, live in this city, live in that city, meet these different groups of people, meet that different group of people. And she has to learn that the programming that she got from her mom, she has to reprogram herself. That means she has to be the mother in element. How does she be the mother in element? She has to put in place a daily practice, a daily spiritual practice. And Kelly will tell you, she has searched for been in different groups and different environments, baby, looking for the spiritual practice that satisfies her, okay? So to my knowledge, human design is part of her spiritual practice, right? She's still developing that. We're going to have a human design course that she's going to teach in this community, right? Why? Because it's going to hold her responsible to what she needs to do for herself. And it's also going to help some of y'all who need human design to expand. That's part of her thing. But she also is a yoga teacher. She also did pranic healing. Like, these are all things I've known from her since I met her years ago. Okay. I've been knowing her over 10, 15 years. All right. And I watched her get in communities, out of communities, learn things about herself, get out of these different communities. Why? Because that's what she has to do. She has to do this. Because if she does not do this, then the responsibility that she got for 7 generations behind her, 7 generations in the front of her, she can't teach the kids. She can't do what she's supposed to do if she does not do this for herself. You hear me, Kelly?
All of that. I don't think I could have said any of that better. Like, you, at 12 years old, I remember having the thought, I got to get out of here. I can't stay here. I can't be one of those people that lives here my whole life. 12 years old.
Yes, exactly.
And I have had those comments from my family, like, we don't really know where you came from. How did you get this way? Because I grew up in a very, very, very small rural farm town in Michigan. Yes. I live in Atlanta. My family won't even come and visit me here because they hate it.
Exactly. They don't know you, but they don't realize that what you are doing, right? And it's not for them to realize. It's another thing I want y'all to understand. The reprogramming that we are doing and we're talking about today, your family is not going to understand it. It's not for them to understand. It's for you to do. And all of a sudden, I promise you, they're going to call you and they're going to start to be like, you know what? I was just thinking about you. And I was thinking about how, you've always been talking about, this is me talking about Kelly's family. I was just thinking about how you always talk about how you had to get out of here. And I was sitting there thinking about how you did it, and I need some help. Can you tell me what you did to get out? All of a sudden, one day you get that phone call or you get that text message or you get that they pull up. Okay.
I feel like that may come from one. I have 2 nephews. I feel like that may come from one of my nephews.
Yes. It's going to come from somebody in the family. Trust me when I say that. You know what I'm saying? It's the same for me. It comes from my nieces, right? But now it's my mama. Okay? I'm telling y'all, my mama, the only thing I remember hearing her say the most when I was a child was, when y'all get out of my house, I'm finna travel this world. Okay? My mama is now with me in Mexico. She would have never got out of the U.S. had I not got out first. You understand what I'm saying? I had to do it. And even though I was telling all of them I was going to move to Mexico, listen, I got all kind of cartel conversations. Oh, you been the cartel this? So are you sure? You going to be safe? All of that, right? Because they had never gotten out. They've never done that. But it wasn't my job to sit down and explain to them how I'm going to be safe. It wasn't my job to do that. It was just my job to go. So a lot of these things that I'm talking about, reparenting, you're not going to get the help or support because they don't know that side. They've never done that. So a lot of these things, you're going to have to go alone and they will show up afterwards. Okay. And you also have to forgive them too for not being able to get free. Because as long as you're holding them hostage to the energy that you felt like, you know what I'm saying? I remember I used to be real disappointed that my mom wasn't doing more, right? I was like, why is she not doing this? And she's so amazing. She's brilliant. She can do all these things. My mama can cook. She can make clothes. She's good at finances. Like, she's an accountant. I'm thinking about all these things, and I'm thinking about the fact that she's still in Louisiana. Like, why is she not leaving, right? And she's a Sag moon. Why are you not leaving, right? That's not my job to feel those things. It's my job to do what I know I'm feeling instinctively in me. And then when the door opens for her to be ready for that, I was ready. She was ready. When I moved and came over here, and I was like, Mom, I need you to get your passport. She still procrastinated on it for the first six months. She still waited. And then when she found out all of a sudden the US was like, we finna start stalling passports, she's like, oh, hold on, let me hurry up. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it takes. But understand that you can no longer sit in the spaces that you are blaming your parents. You cannot blame your family dynamics for not giving you access to the things that you know you can have access to, because all it's going to take is you putting in the discipline and the structure to make that happen. That's it. And once you do that, you are freeing up the generations to do that. Now my niece and my daughter is talking about going to Japan to see some doggone anime museum. Why? Because my daughter has come over here to Mexico with me, so now she knows what it feels like to be outside the country. My niece also did a small trip. I forgot where she went. I think she went to Puerto Rico. She went somewhere, okay? But they're starting to move, but they didn't move until I did. You hear what I'm saying? So you're reprogramming the things that you must do, right? You're not going to get the support. You can count out the family helping you on this because your family is scared. They never did it. So the reprogramming part is you doing it, you taking the chance, you saying, I can do this, right? Coming into a community of people like you're in right now that's going to hold you responsible and hold you accountable to what you say you want, so then you can do your job. Okay? Let's move on.
Yes, ma'am. And you know, I've done a lot of work on accepting that my family doesn't really see me.
No.
And
they ain't supposed to.
I credit a lot of that acceptance and healing with my plant medicine journeys.
Good. They're not supposed to. We have to understand what our contract is. I think because we are a soul family, right? You know what I'm saying? We want, Carissa, I see your hand raised, okay? But I think because we are a soul family, we desire to have that. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, it was nothing more that I wanted than my mother's approval, right? Like on certain things. Like I just wanted her to say, I'm happy and I'm proud, right? And some things she did. But there was other things that she couldn't see because I couldn't see it. You hear what I'm saying? Sometimes the reason why we want approval is because we're still scared. So somebody be like, you can do it. Yeah, you can go on. You know what I'm saying? Having that little nook, you know what I'm saying? Makes you feel like you can. But this is the stage where you have to do that for yourself. You got to be the biggest cheerleader. Okay?
Right.
You got to be that. Because if you keep looking for an approval outside of yourself, you're still stuck. You're still going to find a way to sabotage this. Okay, so at some point, the psychosis internally, you don't already have a person up there that's got the pom-poms. Okay, you got to create one. You have to create the one who be like, you know what I'm saying? When you try to sit down and be like, I don't know, I can do this. You got to have somebody like, yes, you can. Yes, you will. Yes, we will. Whatever you need to put in your visual, you got to have that. Because without that self-gratification, without that self-cheerleading element, then you're going to lose something, okay? You're going to feel like you can't achieve something. And that's the reason why, again, I have these classes and I do these classes because I need y'all to understand that this is what it took for me. I'm not telling y'all something I did not do. I'm telling y'all stuff that I do on a daily basis. That the biggest cheerleader that I have is in my head. When I don't get not one like, when I don't get not one clap, I don't give a shit because Gigi is doing it for herself. That's why y'all see me dancing and prancing and doing all those things, because that's really the girl that's in my head, okay? She really doing all these things to make sure we get this done. Whatever it takes from me, I'm going to do that. You hear what I'm saying? All right, Carissa, let's pull you up.
I just had a question. So I'm looking at the chart and I'm looking in the fourth house. I know there, I see the moon symbol, but what's the one that's an upside down U?
Upside down U?
Mhm.
I want you to take
It looks like, or it looks like a shoe horse, but it's like upside down. And so instead of it being like this, it's like
Oh,
this.
It's
that's
your
one of the.
north node, or it's one of your nodes. It's either your south node. If it's an upside down U,
does it
it's
have
your
a little
south
curl on
node.
the end of it?
Yeah, like little circles.
Yeah,
And
so
it's like
north
this.
node. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. What's your, if you look at, go into your chart, are you looking on time passages?
Yeah.
What are you in?
I'm on my natal chart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking in the fourth house. I see the moon, 22 degrees, and then the U thing that's upside down, 16 degrees.
I think it's your
But
north.
I'm on my phone, so I don't know if it's.
Let me go to, is north node on this one? Damn it, they don't have the symbol on here.
If I scroll all the way down, it says my north node is in Taurus.
Okay. And so that means if your north node is in Taurus, then that means your south node is in Scorpio, right?
Right.
So what do you have in the fourth house? What else is in the fourth house with that? What did you put up here?
The moon.
Is your moon in Sag?
No, my moon is in Taurus.
So it is, so if could you put fourth house in Sag?
Well, okay, so I got that from, I was looking on Cafe Astrology because they have like the houses like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like all the way down. So so that's the reason why.
Okay, so if you look
on there.
it's okay. If you look on the Cafe Astrology, when you go under the 12th house one, what does it say your north node is? Does it say Taurus or does it say Scorpio?
Taurus.
Okay, so that means if you in your, okay, so if your south node is, your north node is in Taurus, that means your south node is in Scorpio. So that means it is your north node. So that's your north node.
Okay.
Okay. And you said your moon is in what again? Taurus?
Yes, my moon is in Taurus.
Okay, so Taurus. All right, great. So what's the other placement that you put on here? I'm gonna start.
Oh,
I think one of the things I'm gonna start making y'all do too, instead of using y'all pictures for class, I'm gonna make y'all put y'all chart up. So now click on your person, your whole chart right there. All right, let's see. 4,000. And you put Sun in Cancer, Mars in Cancer, and fourth house in Sag. But then you say on Cafe Astrology, trying to see if you maybe put your time wrong on one or the other. Because it's impossible for you to have fourth house in Sag on one and then fourth house in Taurus on the other.
okay, I'll adjust it just to make sure.
Okay.
But...
And if you can send me can we send messages on here? All of you Zoom experts. If you send me a private message, right? Let me come off stop share real quick.
If you go into the chat, Gigi, like if you look at the chat itself, and there should be a drop down in the two where you can send chat to either the whole group or to like one specific person. You can do it from there in the chat.
I see right here. It says to meeting group chat. Okay. So Carissa,
that's what it was. It was the time.
Okay, I just would say that we always something's off. You know what I'm saying? Which is great.
Yeah,
right?
that's what it was. It was the time.
It's good that we're doing this together, so you can kind of see that, right? So that means now
like, wait,
straight. Everything should be Taurus in the fourth, right?
Exactly.
Perfect. All right. So we got Taurus in the fourth. That means your north node is also in your fourth too, correct?
Right.
All right. So can you just write them again down for me in the chat so I can clearly see?
No problem.
So that means moon is in the fourth. Also, north node is in the fourth. Is what I'm thinking or processing from what I heard.
Finding my thing. So. Taurus in the fourth.
Okay, moon in fourth. All right, so moon in the fourth, right? So because Carissa is a Cancer sun energy, okay, and she got a lot of Cancer, right? That means it's energy of fourth house for her, right? We're talking about the programming and what needs to be done, because usually what you have your moon sign is in is usually what your mama's emotions are, okay? So if you start to get into like the in-depths of how astrology runs, most of our moon sign energy literally means what your mother was going through gestationally, right? When she gave birth to you. And we know this because your chart is your mama's birth chart. What I mean is what you came out when she gave birth to you is where all the planets were on that day. So whatever your mama was going through and feeling, okay, is in your chart. So your emotions, your moon chart is emotionally what your mama was going through and feeling. So for her mama, right, the fourth house dynamic, the energy that she came out with, the energy that she gave her child was Taurus energy, okay? But it was also emotional energy. So she may have been feeling, right? Fourth house or Taurus deals with foundational energy. It deals with relationship energy. It also deals with foundation, and it deals with values, okay? So the value system that she may have been feeling may have been from an emotional perspective, okay? Some emotion things going on. So what did she come here to give or change or bring about for the fourth house dynamic of her programming, right? Taurus energy, royalty energy, okay? So meaning that her mother may have been, do y'all see this? This is just amazing. Well, that was for you, Carissa. Okay, this is for all the royalty energy, baby. The fireworks comes with the royalty, okay? But that's what she came to illuminate, right? So mama wanted to feel like money, be money. So maybe there was some financial things going on, right? Maybe because she was giving birth to a child. I know, Carissa, are you the oldest? Because your rising is
Capricorn. I'm nothing but water and earth in the majority of my chart. So yeah.
So she was a firstborn child, okay? Firstborn child. So mama was processing money to take care of this child, okay? Wanting to give this child everything. When I mean everything, she wanted to make sure this child did not want for anything. But she may have been in some type of financial crunch or value crunch because maybe she did not know what that meant. This is her firstborn child. So she don't know what that means exactly. So some of the things she may have wished or wanted for the child don't necessarily mean that was available for the child. So what is Carissa here to do? To activate all those things. She is walking, talking royalty. Okay, she is the firstborn. She is a Capricorn rising, which means she don't have no money issues. What she may have, though, is structure issues. What she may have is emotional issues that prevent her from staying on top of her time management, staying on top of the goals and the things that she said she wanted to accomplish so that the money can constantly flow. Because the thing about Capricorn energy, when we talk about money, again, it does not come from mere mortals, okay? It comes from ancestry. So that energy that her mama was putting into her, she was conjuring the ancestors. She was conjuring the ancestral money to make sure that this child did not want for anything. So Carissa had to tap into that. She had to be reminded that the money was already in place the day that she came. So when money becomes an issue, it becomes a stall. She can't get into this thinking about all the things and all the money and all the people she's helped out, right? Because again, Capricorn is one of the most giving energies too. So in her rising energy, which also then goes back into the Cancer dynamic, sometimes she can start to get into that space of feeling like she has to take care of everything and everybody, which means she lacks self-care. But she's a Cancer dynamic. So that means we also know that the family lacks self-care. Mama lacks self-care. So how does she balance out and reparent? Number one, she has to be immaculate with her self-care so that her emotions can be balanced. When her emotions are balanced, she is able to stay on top of her time management. When she's on top of her time management, she's also on top of her spiritual practices. She can conjure the money and the things that she needs to make it happen. Okay? Why? Because Taurus is the royalty. She got royalty in the fourth house. So it's not hard for her to program what's already hers. She came here with it. How do we know she came here with it? Because mama put it in her. Her mama was pulling from the ancestral magic because she did not have it. Okay? It was not available to her. So again, where we want things may not be where mama can give it. So she may want the support or want certain things as it relates to mama, but mama didn't have it when she gave birth to her. So now she puts a lot of weight on the child, not even knowingly, right? So some of the things that she may say is putting weight on the child unknowingly. So what does Carissa do? Take on the weight of the family now. Now she starts to feel like that the moment she gets certain things, she got to take care of everybody. That's not going to work. It's not going to happen that way because that's what everybody did. How do we know that's what everybody did? Because she is the born Cancer child. Okay? So what does she have to do? Reparent herself to self-care. That's first. Then she has to reparent herself to make sure that she is immaculate with her time. Okay. Then she has to reparent herself in knowing that money is not an issue. So where she may have incarnated some family dynamics as it relates to financial issues, that is not a real thing. Not for her. Okay. So reprogramming looks like you making sure that you take care of yourself in an immaculate way. Putting yourself first is utmost. You got to do it, okay? Even though you may want to nurture everybody else. The Cancer in her wants to nurture everybody else. But the fourth house, Taurus, needs her to make sure that she is walking like money, feeling like money, knowing that the money is already there because she is the princess of that bloodline. The princess of that bloodline that also carries like this. Do y'all watch Bridgerton? Have y'all watched Bridgerton? Carissa, do you watch Bridgerton? Okay.
Love it.
Okay. So you already know in the whole Bridgerton is all about having an heir, right? So so you got the responsibility, the mental responsibility of being the heir. I gotta do all these heir qualities. When in reality, the only thing that you need to do is make sure that you are doing exactly what Queen Charlotte did, which was break free from all the ideas that she think that she was supposed to do all the opposite stuff. Okay, this castle was closed. No, it's not. It's open. Okay, whatever they raised you to think or whatever that program was that it was given to you to think, you have to do the opposite, because doing the opposite is how you do save the bloodline. You don't save the bloodline by sacrificing yourself. You save the bloodline by doing what you innately know to do. You hear me? Any questions?
Yes. Nope.
Okay. All right. Who next? Who else put their fourth house here? Okay, Brandy, fourth house Cancer. You got anything else in the fourth house? Is Brandy still here? Oh.
No, that's it.
All right. So Cancer in the fourth. That's at home. Okay. What is Cancer? A child born with Cancer in the fourth. What does that child have to do? Take care of yourself. Okay. You are the most nurturing person. You are running a birthing business, baby. You are a doula extraordinaire. Okay. So being that energy, you already know that your job, or one of the jobs that you've taken on, which is birthing, nurturing. But in order for you to be that, in order for you to have a successful nurturing business, you have to nurture who first? Who's first? You.
Me.
You have to birth you first, okay? So it's going to take you having to go through a whole new cycle of rebirthing, okay? And what I mean by that is literally going inside of your womb and reprogramming yourself. Because the energy that comes with having a fourth house Cancer dynamic means the bloodline does not know self-care at all. So what do you do for self-care now? What is your daily practice of self-care?
Getting up in the morning and praying.
Okay. What else?
Then and then I start getting going to shower my intentions, and any prayers that I might have if I didn't wake up on time. And then start getting ready for my day, doing my beauty routine and whatever I feel like for that day, and then getting out there and making the money.
How often do you getting out there and making the money is the part, right? How often are you getting in the tub?
Mm-hmm. Every day.
Please make sure you are self-caring, okay? Because the fourth house programming that you have to understand that you are the child that was born to come here to help the family to see a different way of nurturing, okay? Because you having that fourth house dynamic, meaning that The family they don't do self-care. So the women you came from lack self-care in a horrible way. Okay. So your job is to make sure that you are doing that. Even on the days that you don't want to, when days seem hard, you need to do that. The money part of it, right? Understand that the Cancer dynamic spends the money of the Capricorn. Okay. So when we started talking about this Saturn placement in a minute and started talking about this Capricorn energy, the money is already there. Okay. We don't have to work hard for the money. But when we tell ourselves, or we start to see money go low, and we start to feel like we have to overwork ourselves, that's where you're going to fall into a trap every time. Because your money is not going to come from you overworking yourself, or you saying, oh, I got to make sure I got to be responsible for my family and pay my family this and do this. That's not how it's going to come. You're going to get more money when you self-care. When you decide to sit in that tub, if you're in there 10 minutes and you decide to sit in there an hour, you'll get more money come through from you sitting in that tub long than you trying to get out there and work an extra 2 hours. Okay? Money don't flow that way. You have to understand that the way money flows to Cancer is automatically. Cancer spends the money of the Capricorn energy. Okay? So the vibration of you receiving and getting more, reparenting yourself, is changing how you feel about money. Okay? So some of the ways in which when you do your prayer, you should also be talking to God about your flow of money. Okay? First of all, we don't spend money, we recycle money. Okay? Meaning, like, don't just stop using the word spend. I gotta spend it on this. If you spend money, they don't come back. But when you say recycle, okay, or I'm putting money in rotation, right? I use it for this and it comes right back, okay? I boomerang it. Whatever you gotta do to create the cycle of this, okay? This is what you need to use. This is the energy that you have to put. It's okay to use the word use because Capricorn likes the word use too. So you could say, I use money, I recycle money, I have currency of money. All these things meaning that I put it out and it comes back to me. But when you say spend, you have just lost it. You have just let it go. Okay? So when you start to pray, you need to pray also about how much money loves to flow into you. Okay? And how she loves to show up with you and for you and by you. Okay, especially when you're in the tub. Okay, especially when you're in the tub, I need you to see that you're not in that tub in water. You in that tub in money. Okay, you are bathing in money. And what you bathing in. Every time you take it and you drip it on your body, you should see that as coins or see it as dollar bills, however you need to see it. But you need to constantly live in the flow of money because the Cancer is the drawing of the money. Okay, it already has. So when we start to talk about businesses and the types of business or the ways that you can generate money and bring money in, know that it's already there. But the moment you start to trick yourself and thinking that it's not there, you got to get out there and make money, now you're getting into the Capricorn part. And that's when you know you are out of balance. I'm not saying that you shouldn't work. I'm just saying the ways in which you generate money, you may be generated from a hard perspective. You may be putting out a lot of masculine dynamic when your job is not to be in the masculine dynamic. Your job is to be in the feminine flow dynamic. Okay, so that's what it's going to take for you to reprogram. You got me?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. All right. I feel like I missed some people. Hold on. Okay, I did Carissa. I did Kelly. Okay. Jamaica. Virgo and Saturn in the 4th. Okay. What Virgo? Virgo in the 4th house. Now, when we think about Virgo in the 4th house, what programming did she get? Working dynamic, right? But working how? Virgo sometimes can be the perfectionist, okay? And because it can be the perfectionist, sometimes it can tend to overwork, right? And when you overwork your digestive system, okay? So part of the reprogramming that you're having to do, Jamaica, is understanding that the dynamic of programming yourself or reparenting yourself and reprogramming yourself is understanding that you choose in what ways you want to work, okay? You choose in what ways that you want the dynamic of your parenting energy to exist, right? But the ways in which it may have existed is being too much anxiety, too much stress, okay? And because it's too much anxiety and too much stress, it means that you are overworking the mind, okay? Now, the Virgo dynamic is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is to break things down, but how far are you doing it? How much are you doing it? How much are you sitting there think, and think about that and think about that and think about that and thinking, and it sends you on a spiral going down, right? Because coming from the family, that's what you come from. You come from a family that over process and overthinks things. So for you, you have to do things that takes you out of that. What takes you out of that overthinking and over processing? Making sure that you are doing healthy things, right? Getting in nature, okay? Being in nature helps you to reprogram and reparent yourself, okay? Working out, having a workout regimen that you can go and do that allows you to stay in that space. That also helps you to come out of the anxiousness, okay? You will know it when you start to know that your digestive system is off, okay? You come from a family that overworks and overthinks the digestive system, okay? You have to break that cycle. Breaking that cycle looks like being in nature, doing things in nature, okay? Finding structure and discipline. So meaning that when you go hang out with somebody and y'all go out to eat and y'all go to a certain restaurant and your body like, I don't know if I can eat that. And you eat it anyway, you have just done what your family do, which is to ignore your body. Okay. So part of your reprogramming of yourself is to recognize that you come from a dynamic that's too anxious, or too over processing, they overworking the mindset as it relates to things, okay? And what you have to do is not do that. And the ways that you not do that is do the thing that satisfy Virgo. And what satisfy Virgo is nature, Mother Nature, being in nature, doing things that are of nature, taking your socks and your shoes off and going just stand in some grass, okay? It will ground you. Now, understand that the Virgo energy does have to work. So you do have to do some work, but the work that you choose to do or get to do is whatever you desire. You get to choose that. But what you don't get to do is do what your family normally does, which is to overwork and overthink and overprocess the body to where you put yourself into a state of a digestive disorder. Okay, digestive disorders are the stuff that your family programmed into you, overthinking, overworking the mindset. You got me? Where you at, Jamaica?
Yes, I got it.
Perfect. All right. I got Brandy. Monique, is Chiron in the 4th house in Gemini?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So childhood programming and mental health. Okay. Gemini is air. So programs that you got from your family is a lot of wounded healer energy. Okay. Now you being Capricorn sun, again, when we have Capricorn energy in our chart is where we have to heal the legacy of some things. We're recreating the legacy. So some stuff that you are doing as it relates to your children, right, is based on how you was raised, based on the energy that you, so meaning like if your mother and father, you know, one of both wasn't there or something like that, and you tell yourself, well, I'm gonna do this and I'm not gonna be this way, right? But because it's a wounded healer energy, sometimes it can exist and show up as a mental health issue. And what I mean is it can make you also overthink. So whereas Jamaica has it from the Virgo Mercury perspective, you have it from the psychological Mercury perspective. So it's still all mindset, right? But yours is now watching your mouth, right? So one of the things that I feel like we worked on consistently as we've been together and been coaching and all that stuff is watching your language, right? And I think that has been one of the beautiful things that I have watched you do is change your language, right? And not just think that the moment things go wrong or go, when I say go wrong, according to you may have planned it this way and it showed up this way, you're not thinking that you did something bad or why is this always happening to me? Stuff like that. So you have to understand that the ways in which you communicate and have been communicating the things that have gone on is not your own. Okay, this is family stuff. This is what you got from your bloodline. Your bloodline has a language, right, that causes them to not necessarily have the best experiences. So your reprogramming, part of what you have to reparent yourself on is making sure that your words also are in alignment to what it is that you are thinking and what you actually want to happen. Because if you don't want it to happen, then you can't say it. Okay, you have to watch your mouth, because when you don't watch your mouth, the things that you say, the negative things that you say are your childhood wounds coming up. Now, let's just say they do come up and you do say it. It's okay. You just have to change it. So if you say, I'm so tired of everything always happening to me and I'm always going through this, you have to be like, wait a minute. I'm not always going through anything. My life is easy. Everything is easy, right? The money that I want is easy, is always coming in. The contracts that I want to solidify are easy, they're coming in. The money that I need to have to make the move, it's easy. You have to get into the cycle of recognizing that your language, okay, your thoughts mixed with your actions and your language is all the programming that you receive from your childhood. But what you came here to change within yourself and the 7 generations behind and the 7 generations in front, which are your children, is your language. Because if you don't watch your language and how you speak, your kids will start to show you. They're going to show up and show you that same thing. Okay? So wounded healer energy, know that it's still going to show up even when you work on it, because wounded healer is something that we are constantly working on. So your language showing up and saying things that you don't necessarily agree with or that you really want to happen is going to come out. But your job is to change it immediately. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Who did I miss? Delia? Neptune and Capricorn in the 4th?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is that it? You got anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right. Neptune is dreams. All right. Capricorn is, we're going to talk about this one again. Capricorn is the structure, is the discipline in the 4th house. So what did you get from the 4th house dynamic, right? Some legacy broken issues as it relates to masculine dynamic. Okay, let me see your face. I got to scroll back over. All right, I can see your face now. So when we think about some of the programs that you got from the 4th house, right? So some part of the dream dynamic may have been broken as it relates to your mother or your father. Okay, so maybe are you, what child are you born in are you first, second, third? Like, what are you in the bloodline as far as a child being born?
I am my mother's second, but my father's third.
Okay. So when we think about this from the daddy perspective first, no, well, let's talk about mama's perspective. So mama's perspective first, right?
I'm the baby of 2, if that helps.
Okay. The baby of, also on
my mom's side. On my mom's side, I'm the youngest. I'm it. On my dad's side, I have a younger brother.
Okay. You have a younger brother. So we think about from your mother's perspective, right? Capricorn in the 4th house, right? So when the energy of you being born, what did you come here to show? You came here to change the legacy altogether. Do you have kids? Okay. So you came here to change the legacy altogether. Legacy of what? Dreams, right? So some parts of, on both sides, your mama's side and your daddy's side, they had total different legacy dreams when you came, okay? Now, were they able to really achieve those things? Not necessarily. So you came here to help them to see what that is, right? With what? Structure and discipline. So both your mom and your dad lack disciplinary energy on legacy, meaning they didn't come from families that had good, time management skills. They didn't come from families that had good legacy skills. These were things that were all dreams that they wanted to achieve. And when you came, they wanted to make these things happen, but still was not able to. So some parts of you feel that disconnect. You feel that energy of these things being absent, right? So when it comes down to what you need to do to reparent, some parts of your own dream perspectives for yourself, okay, as it relates to your own discipline, your own time management, right? I know what you do for work. So some part of this is not overworking yourself and finding how to self-care more, okay? Self-care is also an element that may have been missing, especially from your mother's side. From your dad's side, I feel there was just a lot of maybe inconsistency, right? So meaning he may have come from energy as it relates to like his dad. Was his dad in his life? Do you know anything about your grandfather?
We're estranged.
Yeah. You and your father are estranged? Yeah. So because you and your father are estranged, that's why I tell people like, this is the way that you can always also look at your parents without having to talk to them. The energy that you experience with them is the energy that they experience with their father. So the fact that you are estranged from your dad automatically lets us know that your dad was estranged from his dad. He did not know what to do, right? So because he did not know what to do, this is the part on that side that you have to reparent yourself into understanding that you are estranged because that energy did not exist before you got here, okay? He did not know it. So because he did not know it, internally inside of you, you have to go in and give yourself the fathering dynamic that you need. So what is that? What do you feel like you may be missing when it comes out to the fathering dynamic? What is it that you tell yourself you would have had if your daddy had been present?
Structure. I mean, not like I didn't have structure or like guidance.
No, you hit it on the head.
But it's that,
mm-hmm.
and not necessarily, not structure. Actually, that's not the word I want.
Mm-hmm.
Discipline is the word.
They both
structure I had. Mm-hmm. Discipline for follow through, but why? Mm-hmm. That's inconvenient. Let me just. So I get you.
Yeah, they're both words that Capricorn rules. Capricorn rules the word of structure and the word of discipline. They are both the same. Pull up and show you. They're both the same. Okay. Let me change this to. So look at this, right? So when think about positive keywords in dealing with Capricorn: driven, patient, strategic, determined, disciplined, responsible, and persistence. Those are all things when we talk about the masculine dynamic not being there, these are the things that are missing. Okay. So when you say, okay, discipline or structure, that's the same. It's still identifying that inside of you, the energy that's missing in that dynamic is still these positive perspectives that comes when the masculine dynamic is in place. Okay. So being estranged from it creates the energy of all this other stuff that may come in, being rigid, right? Being fearful, right? Having this perspective of feeling like, okay, well, did I really need it? You know what I'm saying? Or I'm, all this, being in space, I'm protecting myself, right? But that's because the little girl in you is hurt, right? Because you did not have those perspectives, and not having those perspectives also makes you understand that these are things that you can activate inside of yourself. They all come from in you because they exist inside of you. Because even though they may not have been there when you were born, or it may not have been completely in place for your father, right? And because he didn't have it, somewhere in the bloodline within the 7 generations, it did exist. Okay. You just have to pull from it. What does pulling from it looks like? Tapping into it. Reparenting means to say, I have the masculine dynamic. I have, if it's structure that you feel like is not in place, or discipline, or whatever the word is, it's for you to say, I have that. I am activating that, right? I am in a full space of trusting that energy is here for me. Okay. Why? Because it's Neptune. What is Neptune? Dreams. So you can tap into the dream realm now, okay, and go back to where it existed and pull it down and say, okay, I have all those perspectives. Now, when you do this, it's going to start to activate some energy between you and being estranged from your dad. So meaning that it may start to open up some dream realm. You may start to talk to him in the dream realm. You may talk to your grandfather in the dream realm. The masculine dynamic in your bloodline is going to come online. You have to be okay with that and start to use it. Another word that comes along with Capricorn, use it. Capricorn loves to be used, okay? So use the dream realm to activate this part of you, because the Capricorn dynamic is the strongest part that's showing up that you need to reprogram. So it's the masculine side more, okay? Now from the mothering side, this means if there was some estranged energy from the masculine, that means mama had to overwork. She had to do 2 parts. She had to do the masculine and the feminine part. So what does that mean? Again, that means the self-care piece is extremely important as it relates to you reprogramming. Whatever you saw that mama did not give to herself, you have to give it to yourself. Because if you don't give it to yourself, then you're repeating the cycles. Meaning that if and when you decide to give birth to children, or you decide to take on children, right, in whatever capacity you decide to do that on, then you still are leading off in that same vibration, meaning you're going to tend to overwork or feel like all you can do is work or put the work in, right? But when it comes down to the self-care piece, you're not going to show that nurturing soft side, because in the 4th house is not there. Having Capricorn in the 4th means there is no nurturing there. It means you lack nurturing. Lack nurturing of who? Yourself first, and everything else that you want to put out, okay? Meaning that you show up determined, you show up more in that space protection comes up first, right? Where nurturing needs to come up, and nurturing comes up by how you do that for yourself. So reparenting for you looks like getting deeper into that perspective of your dreams, opening that door of the conversation that you need to have from the masculine perspective, and then following that up with self-care. Okay?
Okay.
Questions about that?
Nah.
Okay. All right. Let's see where you at, Sherry. All right. So Capricorn in the 4th, right? So it's kind of some of the same I just said, but the only difference is dreams is not accompanying yours, right? Yours is just Capricorn in the 4th. So recognizing that in the 4th house still, some energy of masculinity just was not there, right? So when it comes down to your dad, was your dad in your life?
Yes.
Okay. Is he still in your life, or has he transitioned?
He transitioned. Okay.
Now, when you think about the dynamic of him being in your life, what was the relationship model? Meaning, did he provide? What was missing if he was in your life?
I'd say the only thing that was missing is like he wasn't like a lovey-dovey type of dad. He was born in like the 1940s, so he was like very stern. He was a provider. You know, it was more of the like I provide the home and financial security and stuff like that. It wasn't really until like I got older that we like would have like more heart-to-heart conversations, but growing up it wasn't that. Then also too, like my mom passed when I was younger, so he had to. I don't think he handled it too well. So, yeah.
So that means there was no self-care at all. So you didn't need self-care from your mother perspective, and your dad had to pretty much do the both jobs. He had to attempt to do the feminine job, but just couldn't do it, right? So that means you got more of a military experience, which is another side of Capricorn, okay? Capricorn is also the drill sergeant, okay? It is the structure, get it done, okay? I don't have time to give you any type of emotions. It doesn't exist. Let's get this work done, right? So that's the part where you have to reparent. So you have to tap into that mother dynamic that was missing. You know what I'm saying? Because for you, it wasn't there. So what does that look like? We talk about self-care all the time, right? We talk about softness all the time. Part of what you're doing for your business is candle business that has a lot to do with self-care, right? So this is you activating, and the part of reparenting yourself is activating your own definition of what self-care is, recognizing what self-care is, right? And even though you didn't get that, you didn't have anybody to teach you that, it's already innate inside of you. We don't have to go looking for these models. We already have them. They're already there. We just have to tap into them, okay? So part of the energy that you're going to reparent is teaching yourself or leaning in on what self-care looks like, okay? Really tapping into that, okay? Because it wasn't there, because your mother was absent, and because your father had to make sure y'all had things taken care of. He ain't had time to do all of it, but you don't matter, okay? Because you are doing that, and by doing that, you're also then leaning in on the situations of making sure that the offspring that you have, right? They also learn this. It's never too late for us to show our children and our kids what self-care looks like, okay? When we treat ourselves great, they notice it. They look at us and be like, you're doing something different. What are you doing? Reparenting. I'm giving myself the things I never saw. I'm giving myself the energy that I know I need so that I can be more. I can do more for myself. And that energy is going to allow you to, again, absorb that perspective, because having Capricorn in the 4th house will make you overdo. It will make you overwork. Okay, it'll make you feel like I'm safer here by overworking. But what it's going to do is really dry you out. Understand that Earth sign is Capricorn. So having Capricorn in a 4th house dynamic where you're supposed to be watery, okay, doing too much work will dry you out. Okay. And being dried out is not gonna make you feel good. Okay. It's gonna make you feel like, okay, you're not getting enough nurturing to your soul. Your soul is not being nurtured enough. Okay. And that's to you and every other Capricorn in the 4th. Okay. Don't dry yourself out. Yes, ma'am. I'm talking to you too. Don't dry yourself out. Okay. The 4th house is supposed to be watery. Go ahead.
You know, like when I first started working with you, I had a different job that I quit because it was just running me ragged. You know, so and then I have this job now where I can look into starting my own business and have time to do. Yep.
And even the job you got now, I feel like it's still pulling on you though. You know what I'm
It
saying? I feel
is.
like
It
it's
is.
better than where you was, which I'm so grateful. But I still feel it. I still feel like you still running from end to end. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part we have to get y'all Capricorn in the fourth house. You have to understand that you got to pull water in. You got to be water. That's what's going to balance you out. You're going to always love to work, but you got to put yourself into the perspective of working on doing something that you love. When you are working on doing something that you love, it allows you to be more soft and be more in the space of being more fluid. Okay. We're working on fluidity for those of you that have Capricorn in the fourth, because it's the polar opposite energy. Fourth house is Cancer. So in that house, you got Capricorn there. So remember, we talk about these signs being the same. So that means you are being earth in a watery place. Okay. So either you're going to be balanced, you're going to be the ocean and the beach, or you're going to be all Arizona. You'll be all dry land, you know, and we don't want to be all dry land. Okay. We want to be beachy. We want to have a balance of the ocean along with the sand. All right.
All right.
All right. Did I get everybody? Let me see who out here. Yeah, I think I got everybody. Okay.
Can I ask you to clarify something for me?
Absolutely, you can.
Okay, so you said Taurus is royalty.
Yep.
When I think royalty, I think of like a way a royal person carries themselves, what they're kind of like responsible for, and also like the help that's around them too.
Yeah.
Am I missing anything?
Well, let me see. The help that's around them, responsibility is a big one. A foundation, you know what I'm saying? The foundational spaces that they were afforded. Okay. So what I mean by that is because royalty is also classism, right? So meaning some stuff that you don't necessarily, you're not starting over. You're not starting from scratch. So you may look at it as the help that's provided, but if you look at it as also as the fact that most stuff has already been done for you. You just have to uphold the responsibility that comes along with that. And sometimes where we have Taurus is where we want to get somebody else to do it because of that motive. Because they're like, wait a minute, do I have to do this? Yeah, you do. And when you do it, all of the help assistance does show up because it's already there, right? All the finances in place is already there. But it doesn't mean that you get to just relax on it. You still have a responsibility to be the all-American, to be the best, right? And sometimes when we have royalty or where we have this indication of being already in this princess role, sometimes we feel like we should be entitled to something, right? So you have to watch the entitlement energy.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. All right. Now, let's talk about Saturn. Let's talk about discipline. Let's talk about what it's going to take for you to reparent, right? Because that's also key important with this full moon in Capricorn, part one. Because what I want y'all to focus on more so for this full moon in Capricorn is what is needed, right? What do you need to do, right? And as you're focusing on what you need to do, we're going to use this full moon in Capricorn, go through the new moon in Cancer, plant the seeds on new moon in Cancer, and by the second full moon in Capricorn, you should be full in stride of not only the reprogramming and reparenting of yourself, but also the discipline and the structure that is necessary. Okay, so where you have your Saturn placement is what your job is to activate that particular discipline and structure. Okay, so we start from the top and go back down, right? So let me see who had the first Saturn placement. Kelly, Saturn and Cancer and Saturn.
Yes, so, Cancer and Saturn in the 11th house.
All right. So 11th house is house of friendships, also house of social responsibility. It is the future. Okay. But Saturn in Cancer, Saturn is discipline. Saturn is controlling of your time management, right? Being on top of the things that you said you're going to do. And we have it in the Cancer perspective. What is the Cancer perspective? Cancer has everything to do with everything we just talked about, right? But the number one is self-care, right? So if we want to make sure that you are doing what is going to take to be necessary, the things that you need to be thinking about to activate this reparenting is, what am I currently doing for self-care? Am I disciplined with self-care? Or do I do it for a week and then I fall off? What is your disciplinary actions as it relates to your self-care? Are you consistent?
What I have been slacking on as far as discipline is my working out. And my intention is to rejoin a gym.
Okay.
And rejoin a gym where I can invite a guest to come with me. So I have, and my friend and I have been talking about that. He has done yoga with me in the past, and we had a conversation. He said, I would like to attend a yoga class with you. And in turn, I would like to also do like teach you how to do some more weights and stuff like that. So okay. I appreciated that offer and that dynamic.
I think that is good, but we got to go bigger than that. The reason why is because it's in the 11th house, right? Which is about social groups, right? So because it's about social groups, I'm okay with the gym, but it needs to be a gym where you can go to classes, right? Somewhere where there's a lot of people, right? So yes, it could be a yoga class. That makes sense. But it also needs to be multiple things. Why multiple things? Because the 11th house is the house of Aquarius, right? And Aquarius needs multiple, it's air. So it needs different groups. It can't just be him and that one thing. It's got to be multiple things, right? Because that's what's going to keep you active and motivated. So being at the gym, maybe doing yoga class with him, right? And that's one of the things that you're doing. But I need you to find multiple things inside of that gym, multiple classes where there's multiple.
That's why I am going to join Crunch Fitness versus Planet Fitness is right up the street, but there's no classes there. So it's a little further to go to Crunch Fitness.
Yes.
But I want the classes and the variety because I like variety.
Yes, you need variety and you need multiple groups because you're going to meet people in multiple, these groups that you are doing, these different classes that you're going to do, you're going to meet different people, right? And these different people are what's going to hold you responsible and hold you accountable to doing these things. That's going to keep you on your discipline. I need you to work on this between now and the next class we come. So the next new moon class that we have, I need you to come back with a full schedule of what you're doing, okay?
Okay, so another community related thing that I've been doing is I am involved with a women's networking group here, and I have been, the woman who is coordinating it is on her shit, and the people that are coming to this group are, it's a women in wellness, so it's people that are in this, healing and fitness and all of the things.
That's perfect. That is perfect. Because I'm gonna tell you, having one person that you're just doing something with, it ain't, because I'm gonna tell you why. The moment they don't want to show up or they're not gonna, don't want to go this week, you off of it. Okay. So having that kind of stuff, like, I do this on Tuesday with this group. I do this on Thursday with this group. I do this on Friday with that group. That's going to keep you not only active, but excited, right? Because now it's like, ooh, I could go do this. I could do that. So now your brain of the 11th house energy of this Saturn dynamic is saying, oh, yes, because I'm going to have this activity. I'm going to be doing different things. And it's going to keep you structured because it's going to be time management. You got to go the same time whatever the schedule is. That's why I'm like, I'm giving you from now, right? This is the full moon in Capricorn now into the new moon in Cancer to get it together, right? Because some parts you probably gonna go to certain things, gonna be like, nah, I don't really like that. That didn't work for me. But as long as you are doing it at least 3 to 4 times a week, you good. but find it out, okay? That's going to help you with doing that. So that's great. I'm glad you already got that in place.
Right on. Thank
you. All right, Delia. All right, Saturn in Sagittarius. Okay. So we think about the discipline, right? Time management. So now we're thinking about traveling. We're thinking about education. We think about teacher and the students, right? So now we think about what's going to be activated in place in order for you to reparent and get these things done. When is the next travel? When are we going somewhere? And if we're going somewhere, are we going somewhere that we can learn something that's going to give us some information, some education? What are we doing?
So I'm gonna be in Mexico September 12th. Listen, I was gonna tell you, I wasn't gonna keep it a secret, but since you asked me.
Part of Mexico, girl.
I'll be in Playa del Carmen from the 12th to 6th. Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to go on a trip. Listen, hey fam. Hey,
you see how she do me, Carissa? I see you over there giggling. You
Carissa. Okay, no, Carissa. No. Gigi, I would have told you sooner. Our session is in July.
Okay.
Listen, don't do me. Don't do me.
Okay.
The question is, do you want to know what house it's in or for Saturn?
Yes, I would love to know what house it's in.
So it's in my 3rd house, and I just got feedback about my communication.
Great. Look at
From
you.
The boss, who's a Sagittarius.
Knowing what to say and how to say it. Okay. Yes. So you're coming here to Playa del Carmen next month. Okay. From when to when?
No, September.
Okay, September. From what to what?
From the 12th to the 16th. So Thursday through the Monday.
Okay, Thursday to Monday. Okay, so, and you just got some feedback though on some 3rd house perspectives as it relates to this expanding of yourself, right? It's expanding of. So when you come in, is it you're just doing it for your own self though? When you come in September, right?
Yeah, I had the PTO and I didn't want to waste it and wind up working and to be like, no, it's okay, I'll push it back. So before I could talk myself out of it, I bought my plane tickets. So now I have to go because they're not refundable. So
beautiful. Well, so what are we going to do now between now since we got to work this stuff, right? We got that in place. Great. So you got a trip planned. So now education, higher thoughts, right? Because Sagittarius also deals with the intellectual, the thinking, the processing, right? So we need you to study and do something, right? Between now and the new moon in Cancer, right? As it relates, it could be about the trip. It could be, why did I choose Mexico? So it could be some studying of some stuff in Mexico, right? Some learning, some things. It could also be some stuff as it relates to the job, right? So meaning some things that maybe, I know you're also dealing with a team, like you're growing a team, you got all these things. So are there some new technologies that you can also be working on to study and also put yourself inside of to learn from now until we come into this new moon in Cancer? Because where are y'all on the process of launching, right? Are we fully launched?
So the latest office was launched on the 20th. Then we launched another one on the 30th of May. I just took my time where it should be launching again September 9th. So I'm trying to finish that and then go on vacation.
Okay, great.
But I don't know. So shoot. Saturn 3rd house communication. Yeah, I've just been sort of learning how to be more concise.
Okay. Well, that's great. So let's put something in place, right? Since you've been learning on how to be more concise, let's put in a form of studying what it means to communicate based on being more concise, right? So if you can just do nothing simply more than studying your Saturn in the 3rd house more, right? That can be part of it. When you come back for class for the new moon in Cancer, I need you to tell me something that you have been learning and studying about yourself and your communication that is going to help you not only continue to launch and improve what you need to improve for September, but it's also going to help you with your movement of coming here. So what can you do for your own discipline? This is about discipline, right? And discipline that's allowing you to do what? Reprogram yourself, but reprogram yourself in what ways? Self-care. So if you're becoming more in your communication with yourself and getting deeper in your communication with yourself, one of the things that we can also work on is improving the self-care, right? So putting some self-care in place between now and then too. So that could be look like go to a spa or go to some form of therapy that allows you to learn something more about yourself. It could be all those things, right? It could also be us working deeper on your relationship agreement. Ha he. Okay. All
Listen,
this stuff.
Carissa, listen, this is your time. This is your time, Carissa. Back me up because I'm clearly getting dragged. No, I'm just kidding. No, honestly, Gigi, in all seriousness, being succinct is hard because my historical experience has been being talked over. That is a family dynamic. So I am like, I'm going to tell the whole story. I don't care where you pause me. I don't care if you tell me we're going to finish it after dinner. As soon as you are done eating and you put down that fork, I'm going to start right where I left off. So my practice, I feel like it's a self-care practice in being concise, because then people have to deal with whatever that silence is, and I don't have to fill it. And I do that at work often. So my boss has been like, hey, listen, what you have to say is important. Say it short. She also happens to be a Sag, but you already knew that. So I'm going to just mute myself for the rest of this drag.
It's okay. It's okay. Just know that you have to also put these things in place for your self-care. Okay. So the ways in which you have been communicating, right? The universe has been saying, hey, you can communicate, but you are going too far, too much with it, right? So it's about also getting to the details, right? Third house is, are you giving too much to where the reason why what you're saying is being missed over is because it's too many filler words? Can you get more straight to the point, right? So working on how you need to show up, what is most important with what you're saying is also very important to this topic, okay? That is a part of your self-care too, because all of you needs to be heard, but what part of you is trying to soften the blow? So you're using too many filler words to soften the blows, okay? So getting to it. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that needs to be said, saying it. But does it need to take 4 sentences or can it just take 2? All right? Working on that. And when we have our session next month, we'll get deeper into that aspect too. So come ready for that. Okay.
Gigi, can I add a little tidbit for her?
You sure can.
Delia.
Well, you know what? Hold on. Ask her, can you add a tidbit? Ask her, is she open to that?
She's giving me a thumbs up.
Okay, great.
I would be curious to know if you have a defined or undefined throat center in your human design. And that's all I'm going to give you.
Shoot, let me pull it up.
Boom.
Gigi has a defined throat center, which is why she can speak so eloquently and so consistently. And Gigi can talk because she has a defined throat center. I do not have a defined throat center, so I have to conserve. And when you get around other people who have a defined throat center, where you are undefined, you actually amplify that energy. So it may not be you, it may be somebody in your office that is triggering that need and that response to overtalk.
Okay, Kelly, I have my human design chart up. Sorry, Gigi, I know we made a left. What is the symbol that I should be looking for?
So it's the third triangle. Well, no, there's 2 triangles at the top, and then there would be a
square.
A square. Is that colored in, or is it white?
The square is colored in.
Okay, you have a defined throat, so you have the power to talk and to communicate. It makes some other people uncomfortable.
Yeah. And how I know I know she has it because when she's with me, we have no problems. You understand? So
okay,
that's why I know when we talk about it, I said we talk about it next month, we're gonna go into in depth because The filler words, Kelly, is what she's trying to soften blows for people. And I know that because it used to be me. You understand? It used to be me attempting to not crush folks' toes. You understand? But I wind up crushing toes anyway. They still get crushed. You know, so I'm like, wait a minute. So if I'm still crushing toes, do I have to say 5 lines? How about I just go ahead and say the 2? Since the toe's gonna be crushed, and then we can go ahead and deal with the actual energy of what's being at hand here. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just like saying it still, but learning how to not put all the extras in.
Yeah.
She's working on it. She got it.
Right on.
Mm-hmm. So you already know what to put in place between now and the next time we talk. You understand? Yes, ma'am. Okay. All right, let's see who I got after that. Okay, Saturn. I think we are on Monique. Okay, Sag and Saturn. What house is it in, Monique?
You already did mine.
Did I? I did your Saturn?
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me double check.
No, I didn't, Capricorn. You're trying to get out of this.
My Saturn is in Sagittarius.
What house is it in?
It's in the 10th house, ma'am.
10th house. Okay, so this got everything to do with how you were showing up in life. Okay, what you supposed to be doing, your responsibility to this planet. Okay, is all dealing with you moving about. Okay, learning, educating, not only learning and educating, but also teaching others. Okay, so how you're going to use this dynamic in order to reparent yourself and get yourself ready for this month is to look at ways in which you can take on education as well. All right. Where are you also? Because I just got through dealing with you. The reason why you thought I was talking to you is because I was just talking to her and y'all both got the same placement. Okay. So you thought it was you, but it wasn't you, it was her. Okay. So for you, I know you are working on moving right now, right? So where are we in the process of moving? How disciplined are you in getting the money that you need and getting things together to move?
So got the money, everything is good. I got a place to go. So basically it's just packing up this house, and with packing comes the energy of just shit. So
Okay.
I'm just like, everything gotta go. Look, we can get new shit. It got to go.
Do you have a time frame of when you leaving?
It's June 30th at 11 a.m. So we'll be gone.
Come on with the time. Come on, time. You got the time along with it. We leave it at June 30th at 11.
Look, me and the kids been counting down. They like, we went. Is it time to go? I'm like, not yet. We still got time. Calm down.
Great. So you already got that in place. Now, along with this, right? Because it is very disciplined energy, right? Are you maintaining your daily practice? I know you've been working out. Are you still doing your working out, or have you been slacking on that self-care part of yourself?
I have been slacking, which led to some depression, but I realized that it was because I was not doing self-care. But I still been kind of doing self-care. Like I went and got my license scary. So
well, just know between now and the new moon, you should be moved by the time we had a new moon. Okay. So once you move, I need you to come back with all the things that you are going to put back in activation to make sure that you are maintaining, okay, the discipline that you need. Because now it's not just about you, it's also making sure that the kids are also disciplined. So when y'all make this move, I need you to go into that house with discipline already in place. Okay, so you need to be working on that right now. What discipline do you need them to have in place? So when you get there, it's not just letting it all be free. You need to go into that perspective with already a game plan. Okay, so when you come back, I need to know the game plan.
Gotcha.
All right. All right, Jamaica, Saturn in Virgo. What house is in?
It's in 4th.
All right. So again, programming, that whole discipline thing we were just talking about earlier. So the same energy, right, is working on understanding that the vibration of the overthinking, over processing, all of that, right? So the same thing I just said to you is just still, it's the same thing, right? But now is to have a game plan in action so that when you come back for the new moon, right? What are you going to do? So how are you going to make sure that you are not falling into that anxiety or the stresses of overworking your digestive system? And that is to have a game plan. So it's not just to know that you need to go into nature and you need to work out and you need to watch what you're eating. It's also how often that you do that, okay? So do you have plants in the house?
Do I have plants?
Plants.
Yes.
Okay. How often do you nurture your plants? Do you have a
Every day.
Every day. Okay. You got animals?
No.
Okay. Do you like animals? No?
I do. I used to have just about every animal you could think of, including a squirrel, snake, and everything else, but I don't now because I have a child.
So you have a
So
baby.
that's taken all my attention.
Okay. Now, do you have disciplinary things that are going on for you and the child?
Well, discipline, like in what way?
How old is the baby?
7.
So discipline meaning like, is the baby in school?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
Yep.
who cleans the room?
I make him pick up his stuff. Definitely, he makes a mess. He has to clean it up.
Do y'all have a cleanup day?
I have my cleanup day, and I make him clean up his stuff every day because, of course, he's making messes every day.
Okay, which is okay, right? But the big clean, right? So one of the things that my Capricorn mama used to do for us, right? To make sure that we stayed on top of our structure. Saturn rules Saturday, okay? So maybe you can use Saturday as a day that y'all do a big clean, right? So the big clean can be like, on Saturday, we wash the sheets, so pull all your sheets off. On Saturday, we organize your shoes. On Saturday, we fold the socks up. On Saturday, we get your drawers together, right?
Yes, I grew up just like that, and it was Saturdays in my household, but I work Saturdays, so it's Thursdays on my day off that are my big clean days.
Okay, so, but you keep saying you're not saying him.
Him too?
Is he also responsible for big clean on your clean day on Thursday?
No, because he's normally in school.
See what I'm saying? So you're gonna get that together. So you figure that out, okay? But you need to establish a clean day. And even though you work on Saturday, maybe it's still something that you can get him to do anyway, right? Is he there with dad? Who's he there with when you at work on Saturday?
He's with his nana.
Oh, okay, even better. Okay, so maybe you can also say, hey, Nana, on Saturday, I need him to take all the stuff off and do these things. But some form of the structure needs to be in place, right? Because this is also you making sure that you're not repeating the anxious nervousness cycle of the family, right? So the ways for you to do that is the number one, work on you, but number two, to retrain him differently, right? To make sure that he's dealing with his stress and anxiety in a different type of way. I'm gonna let you work on it. I'm gonna let you figure out what this looks like, but you need some type of structure in place for him that's outside of this day-to-day thing, because the day-to-day is just like tidying up. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about how you have a big day on Thursday. He needs to have a big day too, that you put in place that also helps with the cycle. Okay. So when you come back, I need to know what that looks like. All right.
All right.
All right. Brandy, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune together in Capricorn in what house?
It's an 8th.
8th house. All right. So in the 8th house dynamic is where Saturn is. So when we talk about 8th house is dealing with several different perspectives. Okay. It's dealing with sex energy. Okay. It's dealing with the exposure of sex energy. Okay. It's dealing with the hidden, the occult. All right. So there's also dealing with stuff like studying astrology, okay, or studying other forms, right? Religious practices too, all that, but it's also sexual energy, right? So I gave you some homework to do as it relates to creating another business, right? Which is being a sounding board in an open space for other people and their sex energy, right? Or sharing their sexual things with you because they was doing it anyway. You didn't even have to ask them, and they was doing it. Why? Because of what you got in the 8th house, right? And it's all in Capricorn, which is money, right? Capricorn is money, and it's in the 8th house with Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So it's in there with discipline, it's in there with expanding of your mind, and it's also in there with your dreams. So all of this stuff falls in alignment with another lucrative business. You have to decide what this looks like, okay? I know you released it on the website, but now, are you nurturing it? Are you internally nurturing it, right? What does this look like for you? When people get into the car, right? Or however the ways in which you want to share, do you have some type of marketing materials? Are you talking to people about this, right? Or are you just being secretive about it? Because what we also have in the 8th house is sometimes when we're secretive, we don't want to talk about it. It's hidden stuff, right? So this is about developing a disciplinary practice that allows you to be able to share this in a way that opens the door for this income to flow in, right? We started talking about it. You shared it in the group with us, right? In the creative mindset group, but you haven't shared anything about it since then, right? And I don't see it anywhere else. So now I'm asking you to work on this between now and the new moon. What is this going to look like? How is this making you feel? Do you need to spend more time talking about it as it relates to what you can do with this, right?
So I have been talking about it. I got like, the advertisement in my car. And every time somebody come in, I bring up the love call. I'm also doing I just started doing tag, because you can go on live tag, and it's a whole bunch of freaks over there. No, I'm just saying. It's a whole bunch of everything over there. Like, people, it's a dating site. So people are looking to talk, but then they're also looking to hook up, and then they're also looking to market, and it's a whole lot of bunch of stuff. So I've been talking about it over there. But sometimes I get I don't know. I mean, I talk about it, I let people know, but then I also get nervous over there because it's a whole lot of people who want to date me.
It's okay.
So
it's
yeah.
It's gonna naturally come to, and that's the part of this that you are leading into the structure part of this. You are learning how this is going to be structured out. What does this look like? Okay, how does this look, right? Putting in time frames. I go on tag, I advertise Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I go on such and such, and I talk about it on whatever, right? We need discipline with this, right? You have to put discipline in place, because discipline is what's going to allow you to see the space where you can reprogram everything else. If it's just fall in, I go here or whatever, it's not necessarily giving you the discipline you need, which is going to allow you to have the other place not be what you need it to be. Okay, so work on that. That's what I want you to focus on for the structure part of it. I'm glad to hear that you are at least got your mind open, right? You got all the spaces and places where you can kind of find your spaces of doing something, but now it's about making it be what it needs to be for you, what it actually needs to be for you. You got from now to the new moon in Cancer for you to come back with what that discipline looks like. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's see. All right, Carissa. Where did you put yours?
Mine is all the way at the bottom.
Okay.
So it's my Saturn is in Scorpio.
And it is in 8th house?
Well, it says both on the app. It says Saturn in the 10th house or sign, and then in the second paragraph, it says Saturn in Scorpio or 8th house.
Okay. I don't know why I would say 10, because if you have Taurus in the 4th, wait. Let me put my brain. Hold on, let me just go down. Because opposite of that, 4th. Sometimes my own brain, I'd be like,
I got my times right this time. So I'm both, like, it says my 10th house, it says mid coli, I guess that's what it is, Scorpio, 1 degree. Or yeah. But Scorpio rules over the 8th house, doesn't it?
It does, but if you get, oh wait, I wrote that wrong. So Taurus in the 4th. And then that's Sag, that's Cap, that's Aquarius, that is Pisces, Oh, wait, I'm still doing it wrong. Wait, Taurus, Gemini. Okay, Cancer. And then Leo. Libra. Yeah, so it would be, okay, so it would be between 9th and 10th house, right? So we're looking at it from the 9th house perspective. We can work it on both. We're working on both because it could be also your degrees. I'm gonna go, I feel like I have your chart because I feel like when you came in,
You do.
so I'll pull it up too, and then if it's something that I need to change, I'll send it to you directly. But we're gonna process it from the 9th and 10th house. So we look at it from the 9th house. That is the traveling perspective, right? That's the house where Sagittarius exists and where it sits in, right? So we look at it from that perspective. Then is how do you take that energy of Scorpio and now allow yourself to get out of your own fears, right? Because the Taurus perspective is where you have the royalty. The Scorpio's placement is where you have the power, okay? But when we're not operating in power, we're operating in fear. So what did you have fears around? Maybe travel, maybe being somewhere you've never been before, okay? When you do travel, do you tend to travel with people? When's the last time you traveled by yourself?
Completely by myself and not meeting up with anyone.
Yeah, like just by yourself.
Los Angeles last year.
And how was that?
It was fun.
Okay. So thinking about those things, right? Thinking about ways in which you can go and do more exploration by yourself. Why? Because when Scorpio does things by itself, right? You draw so much energy. Where we have Scorpio in our chart is where we draw sexual energy. Okay. So it's drawing this dynamic of power or letting people really see you full in your sex energy without feeling like you have to have a guard or having to have a group or some type of aspect with you. So think about the spaces of traveling by yourself, but also think about the fact that it is also education and also exploration. So it also can be you studying different forms of sex art. Have you ever looked into Tantra or looked into like kink stuff or kinky, being a kinky girl, doing some kinky stuff, doing some stuff you never did before, right? Like the message that we talked about earlier today. Remember what you sent me today?
Yeah. Oh, you can, I mean, yeah, like I've actually been learning about that all this year. So like kink side, because I never looked it up before. I was just curious. So
exactly.
All of it.
So not just tapping into it, but also developing some type of discipline with it, right? So it's like, I'm looking into this because it's calling to me, but now having a partner, right? So the partnership that you may be exploring in, seeing if that is a space that you can actually explore some of these things with, right? So not just you studying it and reading for you, not being afraid to be like, hey, I'm studying this. Would you try this out with me? Or can I, would you be interested in this? Right. So allowing getting out of your fear of only doing these things in hiding, because where we have Scorpio is where we hiding it a little bit. So now starting to really see what the universe has for you by opening up a little bit more to it. Okay. So from now to the new moon, let me know what you have actually moved on, right? Some of the conversations that you've been having to kind of see in what ways that you have spaces where you can actually explore some of the things that you have been actually studying and working on. Okay. And as well as like, thinking about trips. Maybe you can go, on a trip to an event of some sort, you know what I'm saying, that may be also showing you some things. So maybe going to a space where maybe they are having some type of lifestyle party, a BDSM party or a kink party or something like that, where you're able to allow yourself to like just be a voyeur in the room to watch, okay? And then allowing that to be also part of your educational study for yourself, okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay. So that's it. So we went over 4th house. We went over reparenting, reprogramming ourselves, and what we need to do. Okay. So the last thing that I want to do is just talking about just this Capricorn moon in general. Okay. Sherry, did I miss you? No,
yes,
I didn't.
ma'am.
I didn't miss you. No, I didn't.
Not for Saturn.
I did. I talked about because your Saturn's in Capricorn.
I'm sorry, the Virgo.
Wait a minute, what did I miss? I mean, no, I didn't. Because remember I talked about Jamaica and I said y'all are the same. You and Jamaica both have Virgo and Saturn.
Okay.
So you didn't hear me? Want me to go back over it real quick?
Oh, well, because mine was in the it's in the 12th house on the whole system, and then the 11th house doing the Placidius when I look at time passages.
Okay, so Virgo, Saturn in the 12th, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we can go over that now. So
Okay.
disciplinary as it relates to Saturn discipline is in Virgo. So that has a lot to do with the perspectives of you making sure that you are staying in alignment to your earth goals. Okay, so what are earth goals? That means being in nature. Okay, some part of the energy of who you are and what you need to be to stay in structure is making sure that you're doing things that Virgo needs to be done, right? Which is making sure that you are not overthinking, not overworking, not over processing yourself. So anxiety comes up, but it also has a lot to do with the energy of making sure that you are staying on top of your fitness goals. So if you've been out of the gym, get back in there. How are you? I know you was working with a trainer at one time. Are you still working with a trainer?
Not with that trainer, but I'm working with a virtual person now.
Okay. How's that going?
It's going because we work out at like 5:30 in the morning.
Uh-huh.
So it's a little tough, but
okay.
Yeah.
So staying on top of that or finding something that works. Okay. Because it's in the 12th house, understand that you're going to get caught up anyway. What we have in the 12th house is where we struggle a little bit. Okay. This is the reason why Virgo Challenge works every year. We do that Virgo Challenge, and I employ all of y'all to do Virgo. If you've never done the Virgo Challenge with us, y'all doing it this year, okay? Because that Virgo Challenge, it makes us all, okay, really have to stay in alignment to the things that we say we want, okay? So what you have to do, Sherry, is tap into a little bit of the Virgo Challenge, right? So go back into the perspectives of understanding that disciplinary as it relates to making sure that you are tapping into your Saturn work is going to help you to get unblocked, because when you don't do it, again, it's going to make everything else that we have to get in place. You putting time into accountability for your candles and your business. All of that is heavily structured on what you do for that Virgo Saturn. Okay, so the more you say yes to that Virgo Saturn, the more you making sure that you are staying on top of your body, staying on top of your emotional goals, which is like not overthinking, over processing, then it allows you to do all the other things that you need to do. Okay.
Okay.
It's fun. That's how it is fun. Kelly said Virgo Challenge is fun. That's how she made Monique. I'm telling y'all, it's a lot of work. It's 28 days of us being very anal and disciplined on everything. We go through a week of like money management where you have to write down all the money you spend and all the money you got coming in. Then we work real heavy on like the goals of what you're going to do as far as your eating. Everybody chooses like what eating regimen they want to do. So if you like, oh, I want to do vegan. Oh, I want to do that. Whatever it is, you choose these things and we just go hard on them for 28 days, right? And when you come out of it, it's beautiful because we don't eat crazy. We stay eating on a certain type of way. We stay on top of our time management. And Monique says you did good. Okay. We all did great. Okay?
Now let me put this in perspective. So all of us, we did great during the Virgo Challenge. 28 days, we stopped posting and the group. Monique, how long did you kept posting all of your, like, she had journal entries and like she was fucking on it for way beyond the Virgo Challenge. So I feel like that challenge helped to put you where you're at right now. So please don't make that a small thing, because it was amazing witnessing it.
It's exactly true. She said Virgo Challenge equals everyone has the work ethic of Beyonce. Exactly. And Beyonce is the image that I put on a flyer, baby. She is up there. I got her front and center on the flyer. Because it is that. It's understanding that part of the Virgo energy is working towards perfection, right? We can never be perfect. But when you start to say yes to the things that you say that you want, it means you also being extremely disciplined to certain things. So it's It's really good. Okay. We always started on the first day of Virgo season, and we always go to 28 days from that. So of course you guys know about it. I always put it out there for in August, so you can get ready. It is a free community challenge. Okay. But usually we have like some type of thing that you can kind of put in the pot and kind of win on the end of it, just to kind of add like some extra stuff. So usually there's a money thing that you can win or some resources. We just put different things in place so it can be that way. But no, she did great. My mom did real good this year too. Mama was on top of it. So it was a whole lot of great stuff. Okay. But Sherry, you've been in the Virgo challenge for, I think, for the last 2 or maybe the last 3 years. So just know that that's what you need to be working on to put in place so that when you come back for that new moon in Cancer, I need you to have some forms of the Virgo challenge that you are activating to make sure that you put everything in place. You know what I'm saying? That you are saying, okay, well, I'm going to do this now to make sure that you are not getting stuck and getting blocked. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. All right. Now, I'm going to leave you guys with the energy of this Capricorn dynamic and understanding that when it comes down to this Capricorn moon, okay, some of the triggers and the things that are coming up, right, or that could come up, right, is wanting to blame our parents for what we did not have, okay? And again, I want to implore y'all to understand that your parents are just children that grew up. So some of the things that they may have not been able to give you wasn't because they did not want to give to you, it's because they didn't have it to give to you, okay? So in order for us to get better in life, you have to learn to forgive. Forgiveness ain't got nothing to do with them. Forgiveness has everything to do with you so that you break the karmic cycle, okay? So part of this energy of reparenting is understanding that you can do it for yourself. And how do we know this? If you really needed these things that you think you needed from your parents, you would have had it, okay? It would have been given to you. It would have been in your design. It would have been in your program. The fact that it's not there, meaning that you agreed to come here and have this life and live this life full without that. Okay, so if you keep harboring on the energy of feeling like you missed out or because this wasn't the place, you would have had these things, that's energy that you need to forgive within yourself because that is not yours. That energy that you feel is not yours either. You are whole and full without that. I know that because you're here. You should know that because you're here. So understand that the full moon energy, again, the reason why you're eating the strawberries, you are doing the heart chakra meditation is because you are releasing these attachments, these energies that you feel that makes you feel heavy or makes you feel like you are dealing with these characters in your life that are making you feel bad or do bad things. That's not your energy, okay? That's the energy that is cyclic, meaning that is something that's passed down. And until you forgive it and release it, you have the tendency to constantly repeat this in several different relationships. What you do not deal with as it relates to forgiveness from your parents, from this family cycle, is it shows up in all of your relationships, your romantic relationships, your friendships. It also shows up in your just day-to-day people that you meet. You're going to keep constantly drawing these cycles until you say, I don't want this anymore. This is not for me. And it's not for you. What's for you is to reparent all the energy that you say you need. If you need more nurturing, become more nurturing. Forgive the absence of lack of nurturing and become more nurturing. If you need more discipline, forgive the energy of lack of discipline and become more disciplined. Okay. If you need whatever it is that you need, forgive that first. You have to say, I forgive this first. Forgiveness means you are opening your heart. We are doing heart chakra work with this. Okay, so everything we talked about tonight is to give you a system of what to work on. But understand, in order for you to actually say yes to that, you have to forgive first. Because forgiveness is going to open up your heart to whatever you say you want, okay? Whatever is missing, air quote, because ain't nothing missing. It may just not be available yet. That's how I believe. I believe that it's an available and not available. If it's not available, then let's make it available. How do we make it available? To forgive the space that you've said that I don't know why I don't have this, or it's because my mama did this, or my daddy did this. Whatever the case, forgive that. Open your heart. Let's do heart chakra meditations. Let's work on eating our strawberries. Let's work in this Capricorn moon. Let's say yes to the money. Let's say yes to the legacy. Let's say yes to everything. Where you have Capricorn energy is where you have everything available to you. Again, it's the oldest of the earth. So you have it all, but you can't get it. And you will not be able to improve this legacy if you keep carrying this energy that is not yours, okay? It is part of the broken cycle that you have not forgiven yet, okay? Do y'all have any questions?
Monique threw one in the chat.
Okay, I have a quick question about some energy I've been getting. I need some assistance on how to deal with. Okay, you want to ask it now? You want to ask me away from the group?
I know you're recording, but this is just basically about me and oh boy and me moving energy.
Okay. Do you want me to stop so you don't want to record it? You want it to be private?
It can be recorded. I just know it's different from what you're talking about, so I didn't want to.
Okay.
You know.
You can go ask me.
Okay, so my question is, I need some help on how to deal with this. So, with me moving, their father's feeling some type of way. So he's basically, every day it's like we're getting into it because he feel like I'm abandoning him and breaking up the family. But it's like, sir, you don't really want this. So why do you keep trying to make me stay? So it's always like you're breaking us up, the family is being broke up. And I'm like, I remember you told me that when you're ending a relationship, always be grateful for the experience. Yes. And I'm trying to do that, but mentally.
Can't try. What is remember I told you earlier to watch your words?
Yes. So, yes, you did.
We just talked about this. We just talked about your words is the programming in your family. Trying is not a real thing. So if you're trying, that's the problem. That's the universe's way of telling you that you ain't doing it.
Yeah.
So you want to restate that? So you are doing what again?
So I am. I forgot what I was talking about.
Come on. We are doing what?
I am being grateful for this experience with him and everything else.
Beautiful.
It's just he's really feeling it.
Good.
And
he's supposed to feel it.
I'm like, I can't stay, but it's just mentally exhausting. So I'm like, should I meditate? What should I do?
You should get out the house and go in nature when you need to. And you should, every time it comes up and he is throwing the weight, again, this is the universe. We have to stop seeing people as people and see them as orbs of energy helping us and assisting us on our journey. So as these things are coming up and he is saying you breaking up the family, you say, listen, I will always care for you. I appreciate this journey, this experience, but you and I both know this is over. And you don't have to yell about it. You don't have to even say nothing past that. See, the thing is that he has been part of the cycle that's been keeping you stuck. He's the mirror reflection that's been keeping you stuck. So whenever these things come up, you feel innately like you have to argue and fight with that, but you don't. You don't really even have to say anything if you don't. It's only stressful because you're still in a mental battle with trying to get him to see, and I'm using trying because you're using it, trying to get him to see something that is not even there anymore. It hasn't been there for a long time. So because it's not there, what is the discussion about for real? All you have to do is put out what you want to put out. So every time it comes up to you that you are breaking up the family, your response could be, I love his family and I love you and I'm going to always love you. But this transition is happening. It's happening. We're already leaving.
Okay, yeah, because we gone.
That's it. And then he can yell and scream and do all the things that he can do, but you do not have to engage. Understand that, again, transition looks like not engaging sometimes. Or if you're going to engage, only say what you want to come back from this. I love you and I care about you, and these kids love you and care about you too, but we're leaving. And you can do what you want to do. You can, however you need to do this. They're going to see you. We already have a plan of action in place. This is how you're going to see your kids. Our family is going to stay intact. The only thing that's changing is that we're changing locations. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And keep your calm. There's nothing to yell or nothing to fuss about because it's already being done.
Okay.
But taking trying out. Trying is not a real thing. If you keep saying trying, you are absolutely right. You are going to be in a hamster wheel of nothing. That's what trying is. Trying is going in the same circle, not moving. You're not going nowhere.
Yes, ma'am.
Watch your words. Okay.
I will. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Brandy says, okay, you can ask Brandy. Carissa said, thank you next by Ariana Grande. That's what you're telling you to listen to, Monique. Thank you. Next. Boom. Thank you. Next. You know, it's already done. She said, and will. Okay. Come on, Brandy. What's your question?
Okay. So with the having the conversations with people, I've never like had conversations to that capacity with people who I haven't had like you know, intimate relationships with or being in love with. So but only because I'm not it's unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm having conversations with the people that I love, like I know how they are, who they are. But when I'm doing it with other people, it's like I don't know where it could go. So I don't know how to navigate this.
Well, right now you're doing what we call projection. You're projecting into something. Well, are you thinking it's gonna go somewhere you don't want it to go? You don't know, do you? Because you ain't did it yet, right?
Right.
So what are we talking about? We're fearful. That's what the eighth house does. The eighth house is the power of fear. We don't have to talk about something that doesn't exist. You are sitting there in a kind of a state of panic because you like, I'm opening up to you know, a taboo subject. And what if they tell me something that is out there? The chances are they might. But we don't know that, right? We don't know it until it happens, right? So the energy is you're a sounding board. What you are is a sponge for people to release some of the things that they are releasing. Now, one of the ways to guard this, right? If we're working on the words in which we want to receive, you are the manifester, right? You are the creator of how you want to receive it. So when you're opening up the door for this in your own conjuring, right? Your own spirit of your spirit vibration of what you want to receive. If you have a level that you don't want to receive, then you put the boundary on that in yourself. Like, I'm open to hear people's most intimate conversations, spirit, but I want these intimate conversations to be about this particular love perspective, or this particular love perspective. I am not open to receive things that are beyond my capacity or things that are too far out that I feel like I may have to call the cops. No, you can guard that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So state what you want and allow yourself to receive that. Don't be fearful about things that could possibly happen that you don't want to receive, because you don't have to receive it. You're a sounding board, you're a sponge, and you get to choose what you listen to and what you don't. But you have to also open the door to say what you do and don't want before it happens. Don't say, "Oh, I'm scared about what could happen." Then that means you open the door for all the shit you don't want to happen, right? Go ahead and say. I tell people all the time, as much kink and stuff that I put on the internet, do y'all know I have never, ever in my life ever received a dick pic? There has never been not one person ever send me a dick pic. Ever. Listen to me. Ever. Okay? I've had my ass out on the computer. I've put kink shit on the computer. I had a whole Madam Gumbo page that was nothing but me doing nothing but kink and sacred sex stuff. Why didn't Gigi ever get a dick pic? You know why? Because I don't have the capacity of the space open for that. It's not open. You can't send me something I don't want. You hear what I'm saying? So you get to choose that. The only time it happens, you get something that you don't want, is when you allow yourself, when you put yourself in the radar for that. That's when it happens.
Hmm.
You with me?
Okay. Yeah.
So put it out there what you want and you don't want, and we don't have to even worry about that.
Okay.
And if you want dick pics, say that. Say, hey, I want dick pics. Now, the other day, I was talking to somebody, right? And he was sharing an intimate conversation with me about, and Kelly, I see you, I'm coming to you next. He was sharing some intimate stuff with me about something that he was exchanging with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You know, and how the conversation went or whatever. And he asked me, he was like, and, you know, and she said da 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 about my size. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, well, maybe. So I'm helping him through it, right? So then he asked me, he was like, well, do you mind if I send it to you? I was like, send me. Okay. But again, I have never ever went to Gigi had never went to her inbox and there was a penis there. Never. Never went there.
Right.
That was Gucci that either. To the point where I had to start thinking, like, is there something wrong with me? And Spirit's like, yeah, it is something wrong with you. People know better than to try your ass like that. I was like, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I don't have that open. Okay. So I'm not open for that. I'm only open. You can ask me. And when I say yes, you send, but I don't get it. Okay. But if what you want, say it. Call it out and you'll get it. Okay.
All right.
All right, Kelly. Kelly said, you always have the power of no, and I'm not interested. Absolutely. Before you even go in the door, you have the power to tell the universe what to send you. This is how powerful we are. I'm telling y'all, we don't know how powerful we are. So we walk into spaces wandering. And then when we just get knocked upside the head, we be like, oh my God, where they came from? You was wandering out here in these streets. And you didn't say what you was wandering out there too. So you got knocked across the head. But when you out there in your stride, and you know you can't get in, baby. This is what it is. Nothing gets through. Sometimes that nothing get through, that thing be strong. You have to go back in and rewire that thing. Because I'd be like, hold on now. I want some energy. I don't want to just close it all out. Let me go back and rewire. Okay, universe, send me men that are at least saying these things to me. Okay, I don't want them to just be so hotep and respectful. Okay, I need some unhingedness. Okay, and the universe be like, what does that unhingedness look like? It looks like starting off with, okay, how you doing, Gigi? What's going on, Queen? You know, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Now I did have, I think it was 2 days ago, I told one of my old clients when I was doing my king stuff, I was like, happy birthday. And he was like, are you going to send me? Because he used to pay for like some content. And he was like, are you going to send me some content? And I was like, no. Like straight no. There was no extra. He was like, damn, I'm sorry. I said, no, I need you to apologize. I said, you tried it and you should. You should try it every single time. But know that the answer is no. He said, so would I have to pay for it? I said, I'm not doing that content this year. He's like, oh yeah, you did say that. And that was the end of the conversation. So it don't mean that people not going to try it sometimes, but especially when they know that you are available to those things. But that's where your hard no, like Kelly said, your power. We have power here. Use it. Okay. Okay, Kelly. I'm ready.
Okay. Very good. Can you talk about Capricorn in the 5th house? I have Capricorn in the 5th house as related to the moon.
You have Capricorn in the 5th? Hold on.
Yes.
What is left of my edges is not growing back. I am through. Just saying. Okay. Now, Capricorn in the 5th house. 5th house is the house of inner child. Okay. It is the house where we go to teach the kids. So I tell people, like, if you want to know, if you are a parent, if you are a mother and you want to know like what type of education you giving your kids, is in the 5th house, right? So because you don't have no kids, yours is dealing with your own inner child. So how are you educating your own self? What type of inner child work are you giving to yourself, right? So having Capricorn in the 5th means what type of legacy are you setting up for yourself? What are you giving to yourself as your inner child? Are you nurturing your inner child? Are you giving her time to play? And when you do give her time to play, what does that look like?
Oh, you're asking me. I have actually had to give myself less time to play.
Wow.
because I had too much idle time. So I got a job. That's part of the reason why I got a job, because I wanted to fill in some of those gaps and be more productive. And I wanted the discipline of that structure. So I have a part-time job that I can work whenever I want to work and for however long I want to work. So it gives me the flexibility to do the things that I want to do for myself and still have the structure of, you know, responsibilities and providing for myself and creating that legacy.
Okay. What I'm gonna just tell you what your inner child has told me. She says she's not playing enough.
Okay.
So I understand the importance of having structure, because that's that Capricorn part. You see how that Capricorn, that workaholic came out of you? I need to go and work. I need to make sure that I got this in place, structure and discipline. That's all Capricorn stuff, right? But we also have to leave room for the play, right? Because if you're not laughing and you're not playing, then that is going to send you into overdrive and you're gonna dry up. Okay. You're gonna dry up the earth. You're gonna burn up the earth. Fifth house is fire. Earth, Capricorn is earth. So you're gonna burn the earth up. Okay. But playing, laughing, and I'm not saying you can still do all those things, but I need you to, do something. Kitty, get a coloring book out and do something. Or put your hair in some pigtails and just play, roll around in the floor. Don't you got a cat or an animal? What animal you got at the house?
I have a cat. She's sitting right next to me.
Okay, get on the floor and roll around with her. Be a cat for an hour a day. Okay. Just be childlike, right? Still do those things, but fifth house Capricorn in this moon is saying you're going to burn yourself up and burn yourself out if you do not honor that inner child to do something that reminds you to go back into the spaces where you have to reparent yourself. See, when you was a child, you didn't have the space to do that too, because your family didn't give you the space to do that. You felt like you was in, where the hell is this space? Who is these people? Why am I here with them? So you didn't feel safe enough to do that. Because you didn't feel safe enough to do that, you didn't. But you can do it now. You can do it in your house. And then when you travel, you should also make sure that you're doing that too. When you are traveling, have some time. Have an hour, 2 hours where you are just completely silly. Okay? Not all overthinking, intellectual, talking about human design and astrology and yoga, all of the stuff that makes you so profoundly intelligent, right? That's brilliant. I love it about you. But when we talking about your inner child, nobody gives a shit about that knowledge. Nobody cares. Okay? She needs more play. Get on the floor and roll around and be a kitty cat.
I'm actually going to a retreat tomorrow. I'm playing outside all day tomorrow.
Well, look at that. So that is directly in alignment to your full moonness in this Capricorn energy.
Right on. Right on. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. I'm done with y'all. Y'all done? Y'all done with me? Y'all ready to go? Y'all ready to go do some stuff? Okay. Honor yourselves. Okay. Take care of yourselves today. I want you to reparent. Part of reparent is play with yourself. Okay. And I ain't talking about, literally. Now, if you want to, that's up to you. That's not what I mean, though. I'm talking about go and have some fun. Okay. Allow yourself to be the child that you never got a chance to be because there was some broken energy going on. Okay. Just have fun. Start there. Okay. Eat some strawberries. Listen to the 432 megahertz. Practice saying, I trust me. My heart is open. All the things I want are already available to me. I got the money. I got the structure. I got it all. Okay. It's already in place. Now, all I have to do is work on the confounds of how it's going to get there. The universe always want to give it to you, but sometimes you have to give it the process. And that's what we're working on from now until then. So not no heavy work. This cycle is not about heavy work. Today was about acknowledgement. Okay, acknowledging what needs to be done. So now take this next couple of days. So we're still in the summer solstice, right? Go get you a hula hoop. Go get you a ball. You know what I'm saying? Go get you a bathing suit. You know what I'm saying? A little tutu skirt. It's still Pride Month, okay? So all my LGBTQLMNOPs, okay? I'm in all the letters, okay? Go have fun. That's all I want you to do. Have fun. And I want you to start to work on the process of what reparenting yourself is going to look like by structuring and putting discipline in place. Between now and a new moon, come back to me with your disciplinary actions of what you're going to do, okay? But start off with opening your heart. Start off with strawberries. Start off with 432 megahertz. Start off with laughing, okay? You need something to laugh at? I posted something on my stories yesterday. That thing is over 100,000 views at this point, where that girl was on top of that dummy doing all kinds of stuff. She was chopping it out. She was screaming in the ear. It was all crazy, okay? But when I tell you, I laughed at that thing for a good 31 minutes. It just had me in a chuckle, okay? That's why I reposted. I was like, this got me in a chuckle. I'm gonna go make people chuckle, okay? Go laugh. Stop being so uptight about life, okay? Sometimes y'all taking stuff too serious. Me too. We take stuff too serious. Let it go, okay? Enjoy yourself. I enjoy y'all. As always, I love that y'all love being here with me. I love being with y'all. For those of y'all in the creative mindset group, I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow, okay? I'm gonna sing tomorrow. Tomorrow's a singing day. Boom, boom. I don't know what I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna do something, okay? But I'll see you guys tomorrow. If y'all have any questions that did not come up today, if you need some assistance, some additional assistance, please reach out to me, send me an email. Let me see, do I have any announcements? No, besides the fact that we got the new moon class coming up soon. Y'all get the details about that. Oh, I have an astrology course that I'm going to be teaching for those of you that may want to start to teach astrology. I'm going to do that. We're also going to have a human design course coming on too, if you want to take that and employ that into things. So there's a lot of stuff coming up as well. Y'all will get all the details, but right now, focus on yourself and have fun. I love y'all. Enjoy the rest of your nights. Enjoy this next 2 days of this full moon in Capricorn, and let's get it, okay? Any questions, send them to me, all right? I love y'all. Bye.
Good night. Thank you. It was nice meeting you, everyone.
Nice to meet you.
We dance all while y'all go. Y'all go ahead and leave. I'm gonna dance off.